Here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right. You can do and accomplish a lot of things in your life, but get swallowed by a whale just one time, and that's all anybody wants to talk about. That's what Venezuelan kayaker Adrian Samascus, he discovered last year after being swallowed by and then spat out by a humpback whale. You might remember his story, but if not, you now know the entirety of it. He was kayaking. A whale swallowed him, he survived, and now that's the story that he's going to tell for the rest of his life. Now, he is unlikely to outdo that. I think we're safe in saying you're not really going to have a story that's more interesting than that. And then there's 53-year-old Carol Murray. Now, she's been telling the same story for 29 years. Sure, it's about the first time she went skydiving, but the thing that made it memorable for her was the fact that her parachute didn't open. And like the guy that was swallowed by a whale, she did survive. Now, unlike the guy that was swallowed by the whale, she got effed up, man. Yeah. They said she had a compound bone fracture. The bone didn't just break out of her skin. The bone had dug into the ground. But she survived, and she's been telling us a story for the last 3 decades. But look, she's alive with a story to tell. Now, sadly, the story I'm always asked to retell involves getting drunk on tequila, kidnapping a stranger, forgetting that I'd done it until the next morning when I found him hogtied in my closet with pepperoni between his toes. It's all true. I don't have a ton of memory about it, but that's the story that people want me to tell. Now, look, it's not like getting swallowed by a whale or falling towards the earth, but that's my story, and that's the one you're going to hear. But look, everybody, good or bad, there's a story about you that no matter who you meet and no matter how many times you've told it, your friends, your family, the coworkers, they want to hear it again. And that is what today's question is all about. Brought to you by our friends at Advanced Hair Restoration. Today, we'd like to know, what is the story you were always asked to retell?
To be a part of the big show, call 206-803-ROCK. Like the Men's Room on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. Send those emails to the Men's Room at KISW.com, and now watch the show live on YouTube at KISW Rock. All the Choles, away we go. Welcome to the 21st Amendment season, episode number 4555. What a large and in charge program we have for you today.
Oh, yeah.
Guaranteed future repeat, the exciting return of Who Sucks Less. Steve, I don't know how you do it. You find people doing messed up stuff in the news each and every week, which is amazing to me.
Tough to do, man.
You take those 3 stories and you ask us, out of the 3, which one sucks the least? So is there a theme to today's Who Sucks Less?
Yeah, it's just effed up. I think that's the underlying theme here. Like, for example, if you were to say, I got herpes eating roast beef, I'd hope it's a euphemism. Not quite literally. So we have that story.
That is a messed up story.
It is. We have a guy who's really into sex, has had sex with a lot of people. The problem is he prefers them dead. And then we have a guy that... Oh, yeah. And then we have a guy who, as a general rule, don't throw a 30-year-old child into the crocodile pit of a zoo. And if you do, make it your own kid.
General rule.
Was that done on purpose?
Yeah, and it wasn't his kid. I mean, not that it makes it better, but you're like, I'm sorry, you grabbed someone else's 3-year-old child.
Wow.
And threw them over the fence. The kid survived, just so you know. But yeah.
Who Sucks Less is coming up for you at 4:30. And today we're going to talk about things that have happened to you. Your friends know about it. Your family members know about it. But occasionally you get around someone who hasn't heard the story yet.
And everyone begs you to tell them.
Hey, you got to tell them about the time that this happened. Whether you said it's good or bad. Sometimes it can be bad and end up decently, I guess. As they say, a late-night beach walk in southern China turned into a week-long fight to stay alive for a tourist who had no phone, no flotation device, or food. The 39-year-old man, identified by multiple outlets as Qin Jiaping, was walking along the shore May 27th when powerful waves pulled him out to sea. Now, the South China...
he was on the beach. He wasn't walking in the water.
He was walking on the beach.
Okay.
China Daily notes that Quinn had stumbled into the water after slipping on a fruit peel around 11 o'clock that
Come
morning.
on. Are you serious?
I am dead serious.
Even in the sand?
He stepped on
Is this like the third story?
Yes.
You had the guy from Niagara Falls who slipped on an orange peel and died, or somebody else slipped on a banana and they're suing. Somebody else slipped into mashed potatoes and they're suing someone and now a freaking fruit peel.
He said, I couldn't touch the bottom and huge waves kept pushing me further out. Every time I swam toward the shore, the waves then pulled me back. So he stripped off his shoes, pants, and other belongings to stay afloat. He eventually clambered onto first one, then another buoy, where he remained for days
Jesus.
as fairies that could not see him passed by. Starving
I don't see you.
and dehydrated, Quinn says he endured hallucinations and survived by eating roughly 80 small raw crabs he found on the buoys, catching them with his bare hands and popping them in his mouth. The crabs were only about the size of a little finger, he told the news agency. I grabbed 2 or 3 at a time, rinsed them in seawater, and tossed them straight into my mouth. Now, on the 7th day, 2 fishermen spotted Quinn and pulled him aboard. Doctors say he arrived with severe dehydration, festering sunburns, injuries from drinking urine in seawater, and an inflamed digestive system likely caused by the 80 crabs that he ate to save his life.
God.
He lost about 20 pounds during the ordeal. Now he's recuperating in a hospital.
2 days?
In stable condition. No, he was out there for a week.
A week, my
week.
bad.
On a buoy.
That's insane.
He vowed to personally thank the fishermen he calls his 2 brothers. So that, he survived just clinging to that buoy for a week.
Look, man, that is an incredible story, but I feel like if I were him and someone said, I want to hear the story. Like, no. Like, I do not want to revisit any of that.
No.
A week?
That's terrifying.
Jesus
I can't believe he
Christ.
held on that long.
I don't either. I mean, like you said, you watch ferries go by. I feel like that's when you start giving up hope, which is there's boats going by, but no one can see me.
Right. Now, I've eaten a lot of different crab in my lifetime. I've never eaten it raw.
And they've all
I've
been
never
dead.
seen it. It's not on a sushi restaurant.
So there's tiny little crabs, and they come from somewhere in Asia, maybe China. And I know you can, like, cook them, and then you're supposed to eat them shell and all.
Okay.
But again, they're cooked.
But even when they're cooked, I've seen people try them, and like, I don't know. So the fact he's eating them raw.
I mean, I guess, look, man, you're hanging onto a buoy. It's been a week. There's nothing to eat, and there's a bunch of crabs on the buoy with you. I can't imagine it, but I guess I would do it too, man.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he didn't go insane if he was drinking the water.
That happens a
Well,
lot.
and he was drinking his own urine, which
How did he pull that off?
that's exactly what I was trying to
Do
think.
you pee in your hand?
Was he floating on his back and then aiming it up?
Do you do a handstand? I mean, like, how do you...
I don't. There's a lot of parts of the story that don't add up.
They don't.
And look, I know
Well, he
you're...
slipped, first of all, he slipped on a fruit peel.
That, right. Your day's already stupid.
Which tossed him into the ocean.
I'm with Thrill.
sounds
Maybe
like
he had
a
a little.
cartoon.
Maybe he had a little tipper, a little cocktail.
Well, it was
for you.
11 o'clock at night when he did this.
Right. That's why I'm saying, like,
So,
look,
I mean,
if somebody
the
asked
math
me...
adds up.
Yeah, I think he was hammered.
Now, he
I
might
don't
have
think
slipped. Yeah.
on an orange peel in the sand...
Now, depending on...
It's on a beach.
Yeah,
You're
well,
not going to slip on or a fruit peel.
Thank God he found the buoy, because you can't... If he were wearing shorts, it'd have been very difficult to make a flotation device. But you can, you can in fact, make a flotation device out of a pair of pants, which is one of those
Sure.
life-saving maneuvers you learn when you do a life-saving class.
But you don't expect to be out there for a week.
No.
That buys you like 20 minutes,
Exactly.
man. God.
Now we head to rural Minnesota. A change of plans on an ATV ride likely saved a Minnesota woman's life. 2 men riding off-road vehicles near the tiny town of Bacchus spotted a lone van in a remote clearing, then realized a person was lying in a muddy pool beside it. Bless you. At first, Adam Sandbeck and Mike Gravelin thought they'd found a body. Then the woman whispered, "Help me."
Oh.
Authorities identified her as 68-year-old Catherine Wasner of Alexandria. She'd been missing for 3 days when she was found on June 6th. She was stuck in the mud for 3 days. Sandbeck told a local TV station the only round part of her face was visible above the mud.
Jeez.
So think of being in like a float. Like a one of those floats.
Salt float, whatever.
Right. Basically, it's
Oh,
just...
like a deprivation
That's why
tank.
she
Yeah.
went, "Help me."
Just her face.
Just her face.
God.
All right, real quick.
Yeah.
You're walking by a giant mud puddle full of mud, and it starts saying, "Help me."
I pooped myself. There's no doubt about it, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have just ran.
I wonder how they got her out.
I'm kind of, look, I'd have been with Ted. I think we'd both run away. And about 30 seconds later, say, okay, let's double back and see what this is about. But there's no way I would just hear that and be like, let me run over.
Help me.
Yeah.
I'm out.
The men that-
Right now, why is the mud talking?
She said it was basically quicksand. The men pulled her out and called 911. She was taken to a hospital. Her condition has not been released. Investigators have not said how she ended up stranded in the remote area, but she told her rescuers that she was trying to free her vehicle from the mud, and that's when she got stuck herself.
What did they think happened? That she stepped outside of her vehicle into the mud. That is
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah. Now I've heard some pretty horrific ATV stories. Well, the ATV, those guys were on it. They were the ones who rescued her.
Yeah.
But I have heard a number of stories from back home that are just absolutely awful about some of the things that have happened to people on an all-terrain vehicle.
Sure. I mean,
it's gotten a lot better now that they have cages around them and
4 wheels.
yeah, and seat belts and all these different things, and people wear helmets and everything else. But I mean, the early days of that were as rogue as not wearing a helmet when you're on a bicycle or a motorcycle.
Yeah.
So it was, when people got hit by cars, crashed into trees, had the machine roll over them, all these things, and it's a form of tourism. So it seemed like almost a weekly occurrence that you would read these stories where there was, and look, man, if someone breaks their back, it doesn't make the news. Right. It only makes the news when
you die,
when it's a fatality. Absolutely.
And for the most part, as an adult, unless you own a motorcycle or a scooter, like most people just don't use a throttle.
No.
So then you don't know what you're doing. You hop on one of those 4-wheelers, like it could happen quickly.
Well, I see it a lot of time in Mexico on the jet skis. Same thing. These people get so excited. It's such a good idea. And it's like, have you ever been on one in your life? Like, I know. How hard can it be? They don't die, but we watch. I won't say bad things happen, but a lot of preventable things happen out in the ocean. I'm like, you don't know what you're doing.
Well, typically, you're going to be a little bit better off if the guy who's renting it, takes you out for a ride.
But they don't.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The guy's just like, all right, here, give me your credit card. Off you go. You're right. There's, like, if you go skydiving, all right, I did a tandem jump, and you still have to sit through like an hour-long thing. And essentially, all I had to do was nothing, but you still have to listen. So I think with like the jet skis, ATVs, snowmobiles, like when people rent it, like, do you know how to operate this vehicle?
Well, your experience with a snowmobile, Ted, that almost, I will probably never get on one. I'm being dead serious.
So am I. I don't think I ever would again. It was beyond frightening, right? So and to Miles' credit,
Had you ridden one before?
Never.
Okay, right.
So, and it's somebody we all knew back in the day.
I've wrecked one. That's why
and they're
I was
like,
telling you,
come
be
on,
careful.
We'll go snowmobiling. Now I'm thinking wide open fields.
Yeah.
Ted being Mr. Winter guy.
Snow.
Right. Wrong. We drove to Lake Chelan, and it's just like these paths through the woods in Chelan. But it is, I mean, you're out there. And then, you started getting a little more comfortable, and I took a corner that shot me off the sled, and then the sled literally landed upside down, kind of hanging off a cliff.
How far down did this cliff go, do you think?
Who knows?
Far enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Chelan, those mountains are substantial.
Huge.
Yeah, he knows.
So we fixed that, and then I'm scared, right? But some of these things that we'd already been down, you got to gun it just to get up them.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of putting around, right? I'm already scared to death. They're stopping at some lookout point, and again, I go to turn around, and I remember the bottom of that sled falling out. Thank God.
Over a cliff.
Right.
Jeez,
Thank God I throttled it, and it pulled me out of it. But I mean, I like I told you, like later that day, I went to smoke a bowl of weed, and I couldn't light the lighter. My hands were still shaking.
Yeah.
I think it's the closest. Unfortunately, I have messed around too much, but that is probably the closest, I think. Like, if I had fallen off that cliff, and they weren't there. They were at a lookout point.
They wouldn't even have seen you.
You wouldn't have known.
Right.
Wow. Just would have been Ted Smith, frozen.
Damn.
Frozen Ted.
That's
You know what I mean? Right?
Frozen Ted.
Because you're up on, like, these roads, but in the wintertime, there's so much snow, they're just covered. So
Yeah.
I don't know where that cliff led to.
Mm-hmm. Would you snowmobile again? We're in Kansas. It is just flat. Would you give it a go? There are no cliffs, right? It's flat as F. Might be a barbed wire fence that we can't see, but otherwise.
Maybe.
Really?
If it's flat, but I don't know, man. Yeah.
That spooked you enough, or even flat, you're like, F this. I don't
Correct.
need to.
Yeah.
It seemed like a really fun thing, and then, I just didn't realize how dangerous it was.
Well, I was in 3 feet of snow when I crashed, and it was powdered snow. So the first 2 feet were maybe a little bit more compact, but the top foot that had just fallen, that was all powder.
Yeah.
That's kind of why we wanted to go out and take a ride that day. So, Buddy's got a farm. He's got a brand new, I think it was like a Black Panther, not Black Panther, Arctic Cat, Black something, whatever.
Arctic Cat sounds more like a snowmobile thing.
Black
than
Panther.
Well,
I don't associate them with cold weather sports, my brother.
They had a panther something, right? They did. I can't remember what. Anyway, this
It's
thing
a
is
Jamaican bobsled team, and we're
this thing is brand new. I'm pretty sure. I swear to God, there's one
You
called.
can say the Black Panther. It could be.
I don't remember a lot of snow in Wakanda.
I know. That's one thing you didn't hear much about. Get the snowplow.
Yeah, let's see.
The winters are cold.
Old sled. Arctic Cat Panther.
Okay, Arctic Cat
But
Panther.
the one I was on was black. All right, so I think that's why I thought that. Anyway, so again, it's a farm, and it's Robbie's dad's new snowmobile. He's on his own. I'm driving his dad's. I think it's only been out in the snow 3 or 4 times at this point. We are flying through a field. Robbie's going straight. I decided to veer left. I don't know the property as well as he does, but the fence that was on the farm was basically completely buried in the snow. Now, I could kind of see the top of the posts.
All right.
But,
Could you?
The horizontal slats, I could not see. But it was still powder. So basically, the sled, the front of the snowmobile, the front end went under this fence. Now, it did not break through all the way. It partially stopped me, but it did not stop the inertia in my body. And I mean, I wish I could have seen it a little bit better because I did have a helmet on and it was snowing at the time. And so, like, the visibility wasn't great. But as I was flying through the air, it seemed like I was only, I don't know, a couple feet off of the surface.
Sure.
I don't know how high I was, but I was at least 30 feet from that sled when I landed in the
Right.
snow. I was fine. I didn't break anything.
Except the snowmobile and the fence.
Oh, the snowmobile was completely totaled.
Yeah.
It was completely totaled.
That was the only thing that was good about when I flipped mine. I just put the windshield back on, and the guy never noticed.
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's probably listening
Were
to
you
now,
able
like,
to roll it
what?
back over on your own?
Yeah.
Because this thing is now smoking. Because I basically took the engine and put it into the front of this fence. And I'm just looking at it. And Robbie just said the same thing over and over again. My dad's going to kill me. My dad's going to kill me. My dad's going to kill me.
So his dad didn't know you were on it?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did know. Okay.
Yeah. No, he knew.
All right.
He knew. But I mean, he's just like, he's going to kill me. Because basically the idea being that I probably should have just stayed right behind him.
Sure.
That's his property. He knows a little bit better than I did. But man.
I mean, but, hindsight.
You want to talk about, like, I still remember his dad's face. Because Robbie, I stayed there. He went and got his dad. They came out because we were going to try to see if we could get the sled started or not. But we couldn't pull it out to see how damaged it was. All I see is this damn thing smoking. So he comes out, pulls back, looks at the front of his sled. He's just shaking his head. And I'm like, man, I am so sorry. He's like, it's okay. It's an accident. As long as you're all right. As long as you're like, I'll get another snowmobile.
I'll beat my child, not you.
And I want to say it was like $3,000 or $4,000. And this was in the 80s. Like, this is not a cheap toy at that point in time at all. I mean, you could almost buy a really good used car for $4,000 in 1983.
He did the proper thing the adult should do.
Right.
But he hates you.
Oh, yeah.
He probably still hates you to this
Hey,
day.
Miles, it's okay, man. Look,
Right.
It's just good you're okay. I guarantee you when he got home, he's like, F that kid. I don't even want his ass in my house anymore.
Well, when spring came around,
Dumbass.
he also had to fix the fence again. Like, put in all the
a gentle reminder of what is
we
happening.
had, they had animals on the farm. That was why the fence was up. So they had to go and fix the hole before they can even let him out of, like, the barn area.
I think the most air I've ever caught, and it's probably not a ton, but as a kid, you just perceive things as bigger. But we are it's like a 4th of July party or something like that. I'm only like 5 or 6 years old, all right? And there's a bunch of kids there I don't know. I do know a few. All I remember about this one girl, I'd never met her before. She had pigtails, and somehow out of maybe 18 kids there's one bike, all right? And at this point, I'm still a little wobbly on a bike. So the girl with the pigtails, she gets on the bike and offers me a ride, right? Big banana seats, right on the back. So we go to the top of this hill, and it was real rickety. I remember that. Getting to the top, and as we turned to now come down the hill, because like a kid, that's the big adrenaline rush you want. She starts pedaling, and she says, and keep in mind, the handlebars keep wiggling. And she says over her shoulder to me, I've never ridden a bike before.
Oh.
I mean, and I'm just like in my head, I'm like, oh my God. She's probably about my age. I don't know what she did, but we both fly off of this bike. Okay, we didn't crash into anything. We come off the bike as it's going down the hill. And I remember catching air and thinking, like, this is going to suck. Now, this is the really effed up part. I got lucky. She did not. So we're both in the air. She hits the street first. I land on top of her. And basically,
man,
I like boogie board on her back down the rest of this hill. And her parents are out there. The kids are there. I've never met her parents before. I remember exactly what they look like, just the looks on their faces. And we came to a stop, man. And I mean, this girl's face was one half of us is kind of gone.
Jesus.
Like, oh, yeah. I mean, I literally landed on top of her. So in my mind, like she's crying. They took her to the hospital. The party kind of comes to an end. I remember saying to my parents, I'm like, I got real lucky on that one. My dad's just like, shut up, man.
What is a story that you're always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. From the Pinky's Plumbing Studio, you're in the men's room. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK.
Ted, based on your snowmobile story, got a text from a listener here. Said your nickname should be the Dead Smith.
That was a close one.
Yeah.
It was a fun weekend, but I would never do that again.
What is a story that you're always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK.
I should also mention, when you get back at those trails, like I don't know where we were up in like the mountains of Chelan.
Yeah.
So we like stopped, and the idea was, I got to pee. I have never been colder than I was in my.
Oh, really?
It was so cold in those mountains, and there's just snow everywhere, and it's like, just go. I'm like, I can't. I haven't any.
I just remember I just know how severe the drop off is from Chelan on the east side of those mountains down into the Columbia River.
Yeah.
I mean, it is almost just a straight shot down.
Pretty much.
Because if you ever have driven up Chelan on the backside, like if you're going up, what is it, 97 or whatever it is, 17?
Yeah.
I mean, it's after you go over Blewett, it's hairy for me to drive it because I have a fear of heights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So even driving on that thing, there's a couple places around here I get freaked out, like the Astoria Bridge.
Uh-huh.
That's another one where I go, oh, man, I'm not comfortable with this at all.
What about the old, what was the bridge in Maryland? That big long
Chesapeake Bay Bridge?
Yeah.
That didn't bother me.
Really?
No.
Man.
For whatever reason.
I didn't.
So
it
I knew I
was
was going to the
super
beach.
high, but it's just so long. Like, I want to get off of this bridge.
Yeah. What is the story that you're always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK.
Like, I'll be honest with you, and I'll sound like the P. I hate driving over Stevens Pass.
I haven't done it in a long time.
Well, I don't know. Only in the winter.
Well, that's when you
Yeah.
go. I mean, that's when you
I
go to
know.
Leavenworth.
9 times
That's
out of
when you
10.
go skiing. I mean, unless you're going that way to go to Chelan. Typically, you know.
I've done it just when you're coming back from like the Leavenworth side, right? You're coming back into the city. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like 90 has bigger guardrails. Like, it can be sunny out, and I'm just like, that's one of those times where it's like, I just hate being on this road right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
What is the story you're always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Johnny. Welcome to the men's room.
Geez, you flatland and city slickers are never borrowing my snowmobiles from me.
No, I'm never riding one again.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Now, last year, March 16th of last year, I did break my wrist on my snowmobile. So, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
You just fix it and wait for next year. Anyways, the story is, when we was little kids, I was the youngest of all the kids. And my brother later in life would tell all the stupid stories that I did. Oh, John did this, John did that, ha. So I just wait for him to get done. Well, we had these two big trees in our backyard, a big apple tree and a big cherry tree. And over the course of the years, we'd nail steps up it, and the steps would fall down. We'd nail steps up the other side. And so we're in the backyard, and we climb up the apple tree, and my brother knocked the last step off the top. Now, this is the first day of the new babysitter. So we're all like hanging like monkeys. We're gonna drop off the tree branches, and he decides to slide down the tree trunk. He gets about 2 feet from the bottom, and a nail hooks him right in the nards.
Oh!
And stops him. The new babysitter had to go out there, pluck him off the tree. We're just rolling on the ground, laughing like crazy. She had to pluck him off the tree and bring him to the hospital.
What was the sound like that came out of his mouth in that moment?
It's like he got kicked by a mule. It was awesome. It was
So I guess the
great.
babysitter was old enough to drive. How old was your brother? Do you remember?
He was probably 10.
All right. Well, see, to
Yeah.
me, that would be also as embarrassing to have a girl look at my wee-wee at that age.
So I just let him tell his stories of the stupid things I did, and I just saved that one for last, and it's always the best. You guys have a great day.
Hey,
That's it, man.
John. Appreciate it.
Oh, is that a story you ever look back on and laugh?
Yeah, it's
I'm just thinking, like, a nail went into my junk. Like, yeah, I'll tell you the story, but, like, I don't find it funny. I can't imagine it in the future. When I was 10, I almost ripped my testicles off on a nail.
I think the worst I ever did was just close it in a drawer one night.
Worst I did was zip it. That's when I stopped going commando. Just zip. Like, oh, my God. And then the worst part is you got to unzip it. So you're sitting there for a sec because you can't believe you've done it, and you're like, oh. And the only thing you can do is unzip, and the unzip hurts more. And then I remember, put on underwear. I had to go to work that day. And you're lightly bleeding into your own underwear. It sucked. It's so stupid. And then when people are like, dude, what's wrong? Like, I zipped my D in my pants this morning. I'm like, what? I'm like, I zipped my D in my pants this morning. That's why I'm walking like this. It really
Anything, it's a pain in the
hurts.
ass to get anything out of a zipper if it's gone.
Yes, including the skin.
Yeah. What is the story that you're always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK.
How'd you get the beans over the freight?
Yeah. Oh, God. That scene just resonates with me.
I bet.
Hello, John. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello, how's it going? Anyway, so back in the 90s, I published a magazine, and I got invited to Kamchatka, Russia. I don't know if you know where that's at, but it's like if you go to the end of the Aleutian Islands, about 100 miles further is Kamchatka. It's a peninsula of nothing but volcanoes. Anyway, I got invited over there to do travel stories because in the middle of the 90s, when they're in the middle of a depression. And so I fly over there. That was an adventure just getting there. But I land, and I'm not sure if anybody's even going to meet me. And sure as heck, out of nowhere, the most beautiful, blonde, blue-eyed woman I have ever seen comes out of the darkness and says, "I'm here to take you." We get into the car. First of all the cars in Kamchatka at the time had the wheel on the right-hand side.
All right.
But they drove on the right-hand side. So I'm sitting in the passenger seat, and this woman is driving and pulling out to pass trucks, and I'm going, "Yes!" because she can't see what's on the... But anyway, we get to... So I go, "What? Okay, take me to a hotel." She takes me to her apartment, which is, at that time, everything was secure like a safe. She takes me there, and then she says she's got to leave me there because she's going to work because a ship came in and she was customs at the dock. And she says, someone will come and show you around. So about an hour later, a guy shows up, and we get into his 4x4, and we head out. And I'm thinking he says, "We go to the sauna." I'm thinking, okay, we're going down, we're going a half mile to a sauna. No, he takes me out into the hinterlands, into nowhere, out of a place called Petropavlovsk-Kamchatsky, towards Yelezova, out onto these dirt roads, absolutely in the middle of nowhere, where you could see the Milky Way, etc. And we drive up to this compound, completely encircled, about a half acre, encircled by barbed wire and patrolled by dobies and Rottweilers, who are very interested in gobbling me up. But they grab them, they open the gate, they say, "Come with me." We go in. It's just it's like a little just cement block in the middle of the mud, in the middle of this place. I walk in, and I almost fell into the cellar. There was a ladder down the cellar. He says, "Go down there." I go down there. There's planks across the mud. Go around the corner. There's a door sitting on cinder blocks, covered with bottles of vodka and every kind of Russian food you could think of, including salmon roe, etc. And the sauna is around the corner. So we proceed, myself and this guy, we proceed to go to the sauna and start drinking and stuff. Knock on the door. Here comes the mayor of the city, shows up. We continue. Knock on the door. A freaking engineer, a head of the engineer of the gas pipe that's supposed to be going across the peninsula, he shows up. Then knock on the door, and this big blonde blue-eyed dude in a uniform shows up with this little dude, and he comes in, and the little guy takes his jacket, etc., and I'm going, "Well, who's this guy?" He's head of FSB in this region. Okay. I go, "Oh, okay." So we continue, and we're sitting there, and I'm getting bit buzzed, etc. And we're kind of laying there after the sauna, and the big guy's laying on a side couch, and I'm kind of sitting next to him, and he looks me in the eyes, and he says something, and I didn't understand it, but I go to my interpreter, I look at him, I go, what the heck did he just say? And he said, we are not so sure you are not CIA.
Oh.
I sat there and I looked at him. I looked him right in the eye, and I didn't know what I was going to say, but I said it pretty quick. I said, I'm not CIA, but I'm sure they're keeping an eye on me right now. And the guy looks at me, and there's a pregnant moment, and everybody just started laughing. And we just continued partying. But what ended up happening is I actually taught their kids English for about a month while I was there. And I ended up married to the woman that picked me up at the airport. And we just celebrated our 30th anniversary.
Wow, are you kidding
Dang.
me? How did you swing that? I mean, you land in Russia. You're in the middle of freaking nowhere. There's this one hot chick. How did you end up closing the deal?
Well, it's a longer story. It's a little bit longer story, but I ended up going back and we got married in Russia. And in the middle of like a 3-4 month deal, but that guy who took me down there.
Yeah.
Okay. When I came home, my wife calls me up and says, he's coming over and he needs to make a deal for chicken, for trading, trading cod, frozen cod from Russia for chicken. All right. I go, fine. He shows up. I start taking him around. He goes, I got to meet somebody. We go to this motel down just south of Renton. We go to this motel. We go into the room. He makes a call. The guy says, he gets a hold of the guy, and he says, yeah, I'll be there in a bit. The guy shows up at our door 5 minutes later. This guy comes in. He looks, I'm not kidding, he looks like frickin' Sean Connery, okay? He comes in. It turns out this guy is the guy who got kicked out of Kamchatka for spying while I was there.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay? This is the same dude. Okay, so after the whole thing and we get married in Russia, I got to try to get my wife over here, right? I've got everything planned, and I get a call. Middle of the night, I get a call from this dude, and he says, very powerful people feel that it would be better if you went and lived in Kamchatka rather than your wife coming here. And you know what I said to him?
I don't have any windows in my place. I ain't scared.
No, I said, you've met me. Do I look like Sean Connery to you? I said, no. And that was the end of that story. But anyway.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but it's a long... How did it end up? It ended up great. I'm married to literally the most beautiful woman on earth, and I'm not kidding.
I believe you.
Yeah,
man.
I believe you too.
I do.
What magazine did you work for that you got invited to Russia in the first place?
It was a tiny little magazine that I started in Anacortes, Washington, called Fidalgo Magazine.
All right.
I thought like Fidalgo Island.
But it's a bigger story because her ex-husband ended up dying here in a car wreck. Okay. My best friend at the time was an old, quote, State Department, unquote, guy who managed to get her over here to see, because there's a tradition for them to see where he had died, right? I would normally do a story about that, but the local newspaper did the story the first week she got here, so I wasn't interested in it, but this guy was adamant, and I finally got an interpreter and went to his house, which is, by the way, 3 blocks away from the house I live in now, but he's passed away some time ago. And I walk in the door, and I'm going to interview this person, and my wife walks down the stairs, and I swear to God, it was just like the rodent looking in the cobra's eyes, man. Her eyes are so blue. She's so freaking beautiful. And I thought, oh, God, this is it. I'm done. So I never looked at her again. That whole interview because I had an interpreter. So I'd look at the interpreter, ask a question. He'd ask the question. She'd answer the question. I'd look at the interpreter and listen to him because I knew I was dead. I knew it was over. But
was that simple.
At the end of the interview, I go to walk out, and I'm walking out, and Jack says, hey, we're going to the lake. And I say, yeah, but I'm working. And she comes up to me, and she knew almost no English at the time, and she taps me on the shoulder, and she goes, John, I want meet you again. And so let's put it this way. I went to the lake. And the rest is history.
Okay. Yeah, completely understand, man.
Yeah.
God damn, man.
That would terrify me.
Yeah, look, Russians they're just not the warm, fuzzy people, man.
Yeah.
I was in Hawaii. This is kind of like our version of our honeymoon. It was like 2008, 2009. And we're on the hotel property, but, on Maui, all the hotels back them to the beach anyway. So I go down to the beach. There's a bench. I'm going to smoke a cigarette. And one of the biggest people I have physically seen in my life comes strolling up. It's like 85 degrees, not super humid, but it's hot. And he's got the full velour tracksuit on, all the gold chains, and do you mind if I sit here? And I'm like, oh, no, go ahead. So we're just talking. He was nice, but you could just tell, man, I'm not even going to tell an off-color joke. This man, I can tell, will kill me in a heartbeat for any reason. Like I said, he was very nice, but there's just nothing warm. Yeah. Not even, friendly, even very chatty, decent conversation. I'm like, but you still see mean somehow.
Man, I think that's just part of their culture, too.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
I know, in Russia, you don't really smile at people and this and that. I'm convinced if I went to Russia, I'd be killed quickly.
Why am I talking to people?
The Ted Smith.
Chatting, smiling. I feel like people would just be generally annoyed with me. What is he doing?
He is CIA. He smiles too much.
Yeah, right. Just something. Nothing against Russians. I know Russian people, but I'm just I'm scared to go.
What is this guy's problem? He smiles.
Right. What is he up to?
What is the story that you're always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Here's a wild one happened about a year ago. The first thing kayaker Adrian Smankus noticed when he was eaten by a whale was all the slime. I spent a second realizing I was inside the mouth of something that maybe it had eaten me. That could have been an orca or a sea monster, according to the 23-year-old.
A sea monster, yes.
He started to think how he might survive inside a humpback whale like Pinocchio. The Venezuelan kayaker had been paddling through the Strait of Magellan off of Chile's Patagonian coast with his father, and he felt something hit him from behind, closing in on me and sinking me. Now, his father, Del, believe it or not, was able to capture the short-lived ordeal on video.
Was he able to?
He was just meters away. I closed my eyes, and when I opened them again, I realized I was inside a whale's mouth. I felt a slimy texture brush my face, adding that all he could see was dark blue and white. I wondered what I could do if it had swallowed me, since I could no longer fight to stop it. I had to think about what to do next. But within seconds, Adrian started to feel as though he was rising toward the surface. I was a little afraid of whether I would be able to hold my breath because I didn't know how deep I was, and I felt like it took me a long time to actually come up. I went up for 2 seconds. Finally, I got to the surface and realized that it had eaten me, essentially. So, in a nearby kayak, Adrian's father watched on in disbelief. The pair just crossed Eagle Bay. When I turned around, I did not see Adrian. I was worried for a second until I saw him come up out of the sea. Then I saw something, a body, which I immediately interpreted as most likely being a whale because of the size. Del had fixed a camera to the back of his kayak to record the rising waves. That's what captured his son's remarkable experience.
Okay.
Now, watching the footage back, Adrian was shocked to see just how enormous the whale had actually been. I hadn't seen the moment when the back appears and the fin is visible. I didn't see it. I heard it. That made me nervous. But later with the video, I realized that it actually appeared before me in such a huge size that perhaps if I had seen it, I would have been even more scared than I was.
Yes.
But for Adrian, the experience was not just about survival. He said he felt he had received a second chance when the whale basically decided to spit him out.
Yeah. Is that insulting?
So it's a good thing he got with a spitter.
Apparently whales have very small esophagi or something like that.
Is there anything in there? Did he meet Jiminy Cricket?
Well, that's what he said. He thought he had a Pinocchio experience. Exactly. Yeah. Humpback whales, they say, have narrow throats about the size of a household pipe.
That's why you don't see him doing that stuff. You know?
Maybe I'm like a humpback whale.
For just swallowing small fish and shrimps. They figure he probably could not have physically swallowed either the kayak, his body, even the paddle. Ultimately, the whale spit out the kayak because it was physically impossible to swallow, or he would have tried to.
Or he tasted like poo.
That's what I'm thinking.
Our question, what is the story that you're always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK.
This guy tastes gross.
Ew. He's like the pea I get in my cup of noodles. It's like, I know it's in my mouth. I'm
You ever I don't know, you ever eating pistachios, you're getting in a rhythm, then you kind of forget, and a shell ends up in your mouth?
Yeah.
And it's kind of gross.
Yeah, he's like a pistachio shell.
Yeah, just like that.
Hello, Jay. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, gentlemen.
Hola.
So my story, probably about 15 years ago, I was dating a gentleman who overall wasn't, he was all right. He was a nice guy. He had a stressful job, and at some point, after, a while, I learned that he wasn't always friendly when he was drinking. So we'd been dating a while. Eventually, he proposed to me, and I rejected him. I denied him, and we broke things off. I had, for full disclosure, I had told him to slow down, and I asked him not to propose to me. So he made the decision to propose to me on his own.
Now, wait, when you say you told him not to propose to you, I'm assuming you guys have been talking about possibly getting married then.
Or he had.
So we had been dating a little over a year, and at some point I ended up, I wouldn't say meeting, I never met her in person, but interacting with his mother, and I did not enjoy it. And I was only 20. And at 20 years old, when you realize that you're just getting to know somebody who maybe has an issue with their alcohol, and also their mom is not very nice, that you might be moving too quickly and in over your head. So I told him, I'm not ready to meet your mom in person. Please don't propose to me. So his friend called me and said, he's buying a ring. I want you to reconsider. And I said, he's making a mistake. He should not be doing that. Anyways, on the phone, I said, hey, I'm under the impression that you're kind of just continuing to go about this, and I don't appreciate that, so I'm ending things, which did not turn out well for him. He was pretty upset.
Now, where did he propose to you?
Yep.
Was this in a public place or was it in private?
No, it was in private. We, over the phone a couple times. We were dating long distance at that point because of his job. So he had asked me to fly out and meet his family. I'm originally from the, Greater Puget Sound, and he's originally from the South. And he had asked me to fly out and meet his family. And I said, after our last interaction with your mom, I just don't think I'm ready for that. I'd like to spend some more time without your family. And then some friends of his had said, this is a really important trip. He plans on proposing. You have to go do this. I was like, no, I don't. In fact, I have the right to not do that.
What was it about his mom that you didn't like?
They were in a very, he was a mama's boy, and that would have been fine, except he had lied to her through me, and I didn't know it. And so when I told her something that I had believed based on something he said to me, she found out that he was lying, and she called me and spoke to me about it as if I was, ruining her son's life and that I had disrespected her. And I felt I was like, I don't even know you.
Yeah,
and
that's
it wasn't
the first
my
red flag.
lie. Yeah, red flag for me. Even at 20 years old, red flag.
I'm actually surprised that at 20 years old, you pieced all this together.
No, I think you just
Yeah. Also, why would you
15,
still propose?
It's been 15 years. That's what I said. Obviously things were going too quickly, and it wasn't It wasn't working out. I had given you every sign to slow things down, and you still argued. He called me and said, you know, you told my friends that you don't want to come out and you don't want me to do this. Like, I just don't understand. And I'm like, how do you not understand?
Did you just fall into the ocean or something? What was that weird-ass noise?
Oh, no, I swapped over
okay.
from speaker.
So you didn't.
You
You did not end up flying down there.
I did not fly down to him, and what was interesting was when I told my family that he had attempted to propose, and then I cut it off at the pass on the phone. My grandmother told me that I would be alone forever because this would be my only opportunity, and I rejected a nice man.
Yes, at 20.
Damn.
You can Jay, is anyone in the extended family, whether it's his or yours, anyone normal?
You know, actually, that is a great question. A couple people in my family and I have been chuckling about it for many years now. My grandma passed away 2 years ago, and since her passing, we have actually talked about it more, as you know, kind of joking. But she had bought me this. I was an early 90s baby, and she had bought me this Princess Diana wedding bear. And the whole thing was she wanted to give it to me as a wedding present. And when I rejected the proposal, she then told me that I would be alone forever, and she gave me the bear and said, since you're never getting married, I just want you to have this now.
Did you ever? Was she right?
No, I actually got married about 6 months after she passed away.
Okay. Well, just in spite of her.
Yeah.
You know, actually, yes. And I just had a little boy in March, so she missed my wedding and my son.
Wow.
Who buys a wedding gift for somebody that's not even engaged?
Now, you never heard from this guy again, right? He didn't bother you or anything?
Actually, he did. He reached out to me via Instagram through direct messages the night before his wedding, like 6 years later, and told me that I had always been the one, but he wanted me to know that he was going to try to move on. And I was shocked.
You're like, dude, I didn't ask.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm not your friend on Instagram.
You came to me and said, I want to let you know. You don't let me know anything. I didn't ask. I don't care.
I was like, I honestly don't care. And then it happened again, actually. Him and his wife, they got married, and then she got pregnant, and he wrote to me on Instagram to tell me he was having a baby. And I said, over the course of 8 years, I have never once cared. Me and I didn't say that to him, but I don't know how you keep writing to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'd leave you alone because I'm just getting my feelings hurt. And I'm like, geez.
I just had told him, like, hey, congratulations. I want nothing but the best for you. But reality was I didn't care, and I did not know why he was contacting me.
Okay, all right.
That's fair. There's a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, man, really, best of luck. And in my head, I'm like, I don't care.
Well, speaking of couples and all that stuff.
Right?
I mean, it sounds mean. It's not like I do wish you the best, but beyond making that statement, I'm not going to think about it again.
And I think generally that, again, like you might have an ex you're friends with, but generally something that serious, like if you saw him in passing, cool.
Yeah, whatever.
But like, right, you don't need to be staying in touch.
You're going to DM me 6 years later. I want to let you know I'm moving on. Like, you're the one I was loved. Cool.
Here's a crazy thing that happened to a Florida couple. They made headlines. Ted, have you seen anything about this story with the IVF embryo mix-up?
Oh.
No.
Oh, yeah.
not.
You just need to see the pictures.
All
Tell
right.
the story.
The picture is, just the look on the kid's face is one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
And just, you look at the parent. Imagine if, Ted, your parents, there's a baby picture, and you're pretty sure it's me in the picture.
Just put in an IVF embryo mix-up Florida.
I don't know how you mix this up.
They welcomed their daughter, who was not genetically related.
How do you mix that up?
Oh, man.
Did you see the picture?
I would at least, I don't know whose baby this is, but it ain't yours.
Oh, come on.
If I was that guy, well, I guess IVF, so he...
Still.
Oh, that's tough. I mean, what are they... Sorry, finish the story. Just like, what are they going to tell that kid?
So it was not, the baby was not genetically related to them in any way. They reached a custody agreement with the daughter's biological parents. Tiffany Score and Stephen Mills sued their IVF clinic last year, months before their names were made public, produced and stored 3 viable embryos after turning to a fertility clinic in Orlando. So basically, she gave them her eggs, I guess, according to the lawsuit.
I don't think they used them.
Score was allegedly implanted with what she thought was one of those embryos. But on December 11th, 2025, when the couple who are both white welcomed their daughter, Shay Score Mills, they saw that the baby, for some reason, didn't look like either one of them.
Because the kid's black.
The couple said they...
Oh, hang on. You're missing a great quote. Displayed the physical appearance of a racially non-Caucasian child.
I'm just saying.
Like, dude, it's okay. We can just say it's a black kid.
Yeah,
And they're
like,
white.
look, I don't know whose kid this is, but I know it's not yours. But she carried the thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, she said they kind of felt that they had a moral obligation to find her genetic parents. They
This
said
baby ain't mine.
that by taking the legal action, they hope to begin living more freely and to finally celebrate the one beautiful thing that has come from all of this, which is our daughter. In April, the couple announced that their daughter's biological parents had been identified through genetic testing.
So did they mix up the eggs then?
I think
So
they
I guess
mixed up the sperm and the entire kit and caboodle was the wrong
So basically,
one.
this other the black
Because
couple.
they're inserting this in IVF.
Right.
So they might bring the spermatozoa and the eggs together in the lab. All right. Once they get that done,
But-
then they take that embryo and they implant it in the woman.
Because that kid ain't mixed. That kid is black.
Yeah.
I'm just.
Well, that's what I'm saying, too. I would think, like,
Wouldn't you know at the moment, like, oh man, I think we put the wrong egg in you? I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a better way to say it.
They
'Cause
say-
this kid ain't yours.
I say one thing's absolutely certain is that on the day of our daughter, the day she was born, we will love and be with this child's parents forever. Now, the kid's now 6 months old. Now, court documents obtained by People say the Florida couple reached a mutually devised custody agreement with their daughter's biological parents, whose identity will remain confidential, and them. So while the details of the agreement remain private, the filing says that under the agreement, they would retain the rights to continue as permanent custodial parents of Shay, but Shay would also be able to have a relationship with her genetic parents as well.
But what I'm curious, and I know for privacy reasons I don't go into this, I don't believe, in the article is if you mix up the eggs and the sperm, that means the other couple obviously have their eggs and their sperm in the works too. So I'm wondering if the biological parent had a child of their own.
I don't-
So
yeah.
we had a baby, and then we found out we also had another baby, just another mom carried it.
Well, they're glad that they did go public with this because they say the details of their IVF experience, the role between the news media helped them bring them to the point of their genetic parents. So they were able to be identified. So any fears they had about the kid not knowing who his real or her real parents were have been settled. Tiffany and Steve are committed to respect the privacy concerns of the genetic parents who have begun and intend to continue a foster relationship of friendship, love, and trust. So the kid basically is going to have two sets of parents growing up.
I mean, look, you're going to love the kid. I get it. But I mean, like, my wife and I, we just had sex. It wasn't IVF or anything. But if we had done that and my kid's born, I'm still excited. But when they hand me the child and this kid is Asian, there's still the moment that goes to my head and says, babe, like, look, you did the work. You gave, but I'm telling you, this kid is not made for us. That's
this is
all.
what I ordered.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, you know what I mean? Hey, man, we put it in order, and we gave you the ingredients, and then you mix the ingredients, and my wife will bake it in the oven, and we pull it out, and it's like, this is ciabatta bread. We wanted a quiche, just like I'm still going to love the kid, but I'm just saying, like, the first couple of minutes, you have to be like, what in the F?
Yeah.
I mean, just...
Yeah.
But what,
By
mean,
the way-
that daughter's going to get older, and, like, her hair's going to be different. Like, what is that mom going to help her with?
Well, the court document went
First of
on
all,
to state-
mom's going to learn don't touch her hair. And, but, I mean...
Those are just awkward conversations.
Like, Mom, can you do my hair? Mom's going to be like, no. I have no idea what to do with this.
So the court document went on to state that Score Mills have secured another clinic for the treatment and storage of the remaining embryos.
Okay.
So they got those out of there from the Fertility Center of Orlando,
Make sure they got the right ones.
and they put them to a different location. They said that embryo will be tested for parentage, and then the plaintiffs can determine the next step if they ever want to have another child. However, in April, the Fertility Center of Orlando announced it was closing,
You don't say.
and that another clinic would open in the same facility with a different name.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Would you give it a go again?
it's, man,
With
I'll tell you,
IVF?
well,
Because, look, it is what it is, but you're just kind of like, man, are we going to go through this again? Because I don't want to spend 9 months wondering if they're going to get it right or not.
well, I know for a fact, just based on some friends of mine, that those treatments can be as much as like $20,000 a
It's
session.
not-
It's super expensive.
And you might need to go through 3 or 4 of those before
One will take, right?
one is actually successful. So, you're looking at possibly $80,000 to $100,000, and do you have enough embryos to keep being able to insert another one into the mom?
How much did Black Baby cost you?
Because look, the woman needs to take shots every day.
Right.
Like there's all these different things that need to happen, which is not fun from what I understand for that party, and is incredibly expensive. And then you have the heartbreak of it.
Is there any part of pregnancy that women like?
Well, you just basically have the
Get it out of me.
The heartbreak of it not taking every time if it doesn't.
And then when it does,
it's almost like if your body rejects it. There's probably a reason for that. Sometimes good. Maybe the baby wouldn't have been healthy or whatever. But if it doesn't take, it doesn't take. And then you got to start the entire process again.
And then you end up with the wrong kid.
And now you're out $80,000 or $100,000. Where
I mean, they got a kid.
That just depends.
Did.
Yes, they did.
Damn, really, guys? I'm just saying. The moment she gave birth, I've been like, there's been a mix-up. Mm-hmm. What do you mean? Like, take a look at your daughter. Like, oh, I get it. Right? There's no question about this. I don't know where it went wrong, but something went wrong.
Good times. So our question, what is the story that you are always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK.
This is the mighty 99.9 KISW and KISW HD1 Seattle. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Text the guys at 206-803-ROCK from the Pinky's Plumbing Studio. You're in the men's room.
Who sucks last all the way at 4:30 right after emails on our question, what is the story that you were always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK. Now, this guy, he has not necessarily told his story yet.
Okay.
But he will, because he doesn't have an arm anymore.
Okay, that's the story.
So, I mean, it's kind of tough. I've been in that situation before where someone does not have a leg from the knee down or whatever the deal is. Mm-hmm. Always kind of want to ask, like what happened or whatever. Somebody with a fake eye or, you're kind of just curious of how this came about.
But you don't know how to broach it.
That's the tough part.
I mean, you have to ask directly.
I don't know if somebody's an amputee and walking around. Like if I'm just sitting next to him in a bar, I don't know that I'm going to ask.
I'm not going to, but I'm still thinking about it.
Oh yeah,
because you're wondering.
Like what happened?
And they know you are.
Yeah. ESPN NFL draft analyst Matt Miller says he's lucky to be alive after a crash in rural Missouri that cost him his left arm. This past Tuesday, the 42-year-old wrote on X, he underwent a life-saving amputation.
All right.
And suffered multiple fractures and broken bones in a June 17th collision in Jasper County. I'm deeply grateful for the exceptional care I've received from the first responders to the doctors, nurses, and medical staff. I'm incredibly fortunate to even be writing this. So I'm assuming, well, it's on X, so he didn't write it with a pen.
Yeah.
According to a Missouri accident report.
He must be right-handed.
Yeah. Miller's 2023 Ford Bronco crossed the center line on State Route 96 and hit a semi.
Ooh.
Now, the truck's 28-year-old driver was not injured. Miller, who is a Missouri native and father of two, he's been with ESPN since 2021 and was airlifted to a Joplin hospital. I believe the show used to be on in Joplin, Missouri.
Joplin, Missouri? Yeah, we were on there for a while.
Says, well, I have a long road ahead. I'm focused on my recovery and taking things one day at a time. Thank you for the overwhelming support, prayers, and kind messages. They meant so much to my family and myself at this time. Look forward to continuing my recovery, getting back to ESPN to talk football, including what should be an exciting 2027 NFL draft class.
He's already back at work, basically.
We don't know if he knows what happened. We don't know if he was conscious during the incident.
I'm going to guess not, just because it's a semi.
Might be one of those things where just, man, I woke up and I was in the hospital.
And my arm was gone.
Yeah.
That, to me, is the more chilling thing. I mean, it's one thing if, nobody wants to hear amputation, but it's one thing.
You did.
But I don't remember hearing it. So in my case, I had cut an artery tripping up a stair, going through the big glass door in front of my apartment building. Anyway, went to the glass. When I pulled my arm out, that's when it cut. And it didn't hurt, but somehow you just know something's wrong. And I'm left-handed, so instinctively my right hand went over my arm, and it still didn't hurt, but I peeked to see what the damage is. Well, it hit an artery. And it's just like the movies, man. When an artery shoots blood, it is unbelievable. These are 13-foot ceilings in this vestibule. And I moved my hand, and I remember, it splashed off of the ceiling. And then in that moment, started feeling weak, and I'm like, I think you need to call 911. Lucky for me, the people around me figured out I was probably going to say 911. I believe I got 911 out. Wake up in the back of the ambulance for a minute, because my body's bouncing up and down because you're freezing cold because you've lost so much blood. But the guy that's in the back with me, all I remember is that he had quite the womb brew, man. He had the biggest frickin' mustache. Anyway, So he's attending to me, but he's screaming at the driver to go faster because as he perceives it, I'm going into shock. Maybe I was, but I will tell you, you're very lucid in that moment because my body's bouncing up and down in the gurney. So he's doing all this other crap, and he's not listening to me. I just keep saying, put the blanket on me because I can see the wool blanket was over his right shoulder. So I'm like, put the blanket on me. And as soon as he put it on, like I warmed up, my body stopped shaking. I fell back asleep. Now, my perspective is I remember waking up in the hospital room. My parents are there, and I thought it was a couple hours later. They explained, because I said, somebody needs to call work and let them know I'm going to be late. And everyone chuckled. And they're like, we called your job yesterday. I'm like, what? They're like, dude, you've been there for like 36 hours. That's a weird thing. The day's just gone. But anyway, according to the doctor, and I don't remember this part, but they're bringing my ass in. I'm on the stretcher, and they're yelling whatever they got to yell, but they're going to take me straight into surgery. I did not have insurance at the time, so, they're going to cut cost, as it were. So I guess the doctor was like, hey, man, we're going to have to amputate his left arm. And the doctor said, you'd been out cold. It's like your eyes popped open. You grabbed me by my collar and pulled me like forehead to forehead and told him, I am effing left-handed. Do not cut off my arm. I don't remember this. That is what the doctor said. Anyway, I wake up, still have my left arm. But as the doctor's telling me that, I'm like, you were going to amputate my arm? And that's when he explained, he goes, the only reason we didn't, he said, you woke up in that moment. He's like, I don't know how you heard that, but he's like, you heard that and told me specifically that you're left-handed. So he goes, we kind of readdressed the situation and did a different surgery than we were going to. But he goes, yeah, initially, we were going to cut it off because the surgery we had to do to kind of repair you, it's just a little trickier.
Right.
Whatever. And what he wanted to say is, and you're uninsured. But yeah, he was like, we're going to cut your arm off. And that just hit me. Because you're laying, and yes, I still have my arm, but I'm laying in the hospital just like, what would go through my mind if I woke up? Keep in mind, the last thing I remember, honestly, is being in the ambulance, saying that one thing to the guy with the big-ass mustache, and then nothing. If I had not woken up or whatever I did in that moment, I can't imagine waking up and like, hey, man, your arm's gone. We had to take it off. And you don't know why, and you can't remember. I don't know. That still freaks me out to this day.
I bet it does.
I can't imagine
even for somebody like me that's right-handed, like waking up without a left arm.
Yeah, whether you're left or right-handed.
But yeah. But I'm saying, I can imagine too, like that being your dominant arm, that would be crushing.
Well, even if you did get it amputated, I wouldn't want to know ahead of time. So I would rather be knocked out.
You wouldn't want to know?
Unconscious for 36 hours. Wake up, I'm missing my foot, I'm missing my leg, I'm missing my arm. I would not want to know going in. Let's just say that I had let's just say I had an infection or something, right? They said, hey, look, we're going to evaluate it, but there's a good chance in 2 or 3 days we're going to have to cut your leg off. I would be constantly thinking about that scenario.
I hear you, but man, I'm telling you.
I think it'd just be easier to wake up and it's gone, and there's nothing I can do about it.
I mean, it's easier in the sense of it ain't a whole lot of thought, but I would rather know. Because like I said, just hearing it and waking up both my limbs, I'm still just like, oh my God. I mean, I could not wrap my head around the idea of not knowing in advance. My wife's aunt, so she has a prosthetic leg, and she'll straight up tell you. She was like, oh yeah, like 20 years ago, I guess she got diagnosed with some kind of cancer. It's like bone cancer maybe, right? Something pretty aggressive. And so the doctors, as she explains it, because she is straight up about it, man. They ran through all these different things they could do. It's kind of, she was like, take it off. They're like, well, there's other treatments we can do. She's like, take my damn leg off. She goes, if you take from the knee down, if you take my leg off, will that end the cancer risk? They're like, well, yeah, because you don't have to, she's like, get rid of it. So, not that her leg was perfectly healthy. That's not, but she made the choice. And it's not like they offered it on the table, as she says. She's like, I listened to everything they had to say. It's 20 minutes of all these treatments you can't pronounce and pills you can take and radiation and this, that, and the other. And it sounded horrible. And she's like, I can die going through the treatment. You can cut off my leg, and I'm not going to die. So like, take the damn leg, man. I was like, wow. So it wasn't an accident. And she's like, yeah, I told them, let's cut it off. And they're like, ma'am, that's it. She's like, no. And their whole point was, man, you realize we do that as a last resort. And she's like, right, if you start there, we got no more problems.
You guys were,
I would say, too, Miles, you said about knowing about it. Like, I knew somebody that, type 2, and they knew it, but I mean, the time leading up to it was very depressing.
That's what I'm saying. I'd almost just rather wake up.
Oh, you're on the other side. All right, I see, yeah.
He just wants to wake up.
I just want to wake up and, there's nothing I can think about.
Yeah, you're kind of right.
Yeah.
Would you rather not know?
No.
I'm thinking about it more that Miles said, and I'm just thinking about this one person, like, oh, that was really hard on them.
How long did they know before?
Hey, 2 or 3 months. And I think they, you get a prosthetic.
Well, you keep
They're
looking
used to
at
it now.
whatever's going to be gone.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like, how am I going to do these things? Because you start thinking consciously, like, well, if I don't have this arm, I'll start practicing without it. What can I do? What can I not do?
Yeah.
What is going to be a problem? You know, just in day-to-day life.
Yeah.
I think that would just be a mental, mind F.
But, I don't know because I've never, but I just feel like if I wake up and it's gone, that mind F for me is even harder.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way,
But,
let's hope not to lose a body part.
This is quick, but you guys were at my wedding. It was pouring down rain. It was a thunder shower. I was
Yeah.
fighting,
Yeah.
That was my second wedding. That was my second wife. The story that I told at my first wedding, rehearsal dinner, night before the wedding, that kind of thing. We're at the Molly Pitcher Inn in New Jersey. And everyone's just sharing personal stories, family members about their favorite memories.
Of course.
Both sides of the families, all that. So I get up there and somebody yells out, who knows the story, hey, tell them about how the day you met your wife. And I'm like, all right. So I go play golf with my buddies. We're on the 9th hole. It starts pouring down rain, lightning storm, one of those yellow storms that pops up. It's not dark or anything like
Right.
that. It's just that bright lightning. Go under a tree, standing under the tree gets hit by lightning. We're all on the ground. We all get knocked out for a little while. My one buddy who had metal spikes on his shoes at the time, golf shoes, he took it the worst.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Our shoes' bottoms were fried too. Wake up, tree is still on fire. The branch that fell off that thing when it split the tree missed my buddy Rob by like 3 feet. And it was a big ass. It was like it split the tree in half.
Yeah.
Tree's on fire. Wake up, I sit up. There's a bunch of cars that could see us from the clubhouse because, again, it's number 9, and we were down at the bottom of the hill, and it overlooked this fairway. And so people saw us get hit. They saw the tree get hit, and they saw us fly back and all that crap. So my one buddy, Rob, he was pretty messed up. So his parents came and took him to the hospital.
Yeah.
Now, me and my other buddy, Brian, we decided to go to the bar because we're like, F this. It is Sunday. We're going to go to the bar. We're going to start drinking. We're going to go to Mario's back door. We're going to eat pizza. It was a pizza place. And we're going to be there for the 1 o'clock NFL kickoff. We're just going to the bar. F this. We told Rob's parents, call Brian's mom or whoever and make sure he's okay. And
Sure.
Just get in contact with us. Anyway, everything's fine except for the fact that there's a woman at the other side of the bar. My buddy Brian starts hitting on her. He goes to the bathroom. We start talking. That ends up being my wife. So the day that I get hit by lightning is the day that I met my first wife. Now,
There's nothing telling about that.
Now, fast forward. Now, I am divorced. I am getting remarried. I am in Baltimore. The ceremony is just about ready to start. And all of a sudden, one of the biggest lightning storms that we've had all summer.
Boom!
I mean, I'm just sitting there and, psychologically, I'm thinking to myself, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. This is not a good sign. This is a horrible sign. But I can't say that because I'm getting married.
Right.
You know what I mean?
In like 10 minutes.
But in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, Jesus, man, the day that I got struck by lightning, I met my first wife. Now it's lightning again on my second
I'm trying to tell you something, Miles.
That's exactly what was going through my head. Just like, oh, there's no way. Oh, the's no way. Like, what is going on? Like,
Oh, yeah.
So
It's biblical. Don't get married.
what is the story that you always you're always asked to retell?
What do I have to do for you to
206-803.
understand?
They look-
you're telling the story, so I don't feel bad about joking about it now. But I mean, it almost seemed as soon as you said like the I do's, like it was like Papa.
Yeah. God's like, why do this? They look the same.
You have a type. We get it.
Exactly.
Right, just
Stop
like,
doing this.
Damn.
Such a moron. What is the story that you're always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK.
I mean, you get married a third time. She's got to look different.
I'm not doing
Got to
it.
look different.
But it really was. Do you? I do.
Wow, it is coming down out there.
Yeah, like, wow.
And it was all night through the reception. Just boom, 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 boom. I'm just like, man.
trying to tell you something.
I mean, look, also, let's take out that it's a sign from God or something. It's also just, what was that, July?
It was so
Yeah.
hot.
Or August
August.
in Baltimore. It was so hot that day.
And humid.
You're going to hell.
Yeah. Hello, Kevin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hey, you guys.
Hola.
Hola, bitches. So I lost my right leg 5 years ago next month will be 5 years due to diabetes. And
Diabetes.
infection. Yeah.
Diabetes or the infection? I'm sure the diabetes led to the infection, but is the infection inevitably what led to the amputation?
You're correct. Yes, I lost it because the infection got into my ankle bone. And doing everything I can to save my left foot right now that's already got a titanium plate in it and a fracture.
Okay. Jesus Christ. So, all right, let me ask you this. I'm assuming you knew the amputation. It was a scheduled thing, right?
It was.
All right, so Miles has an argument I wouldn't want to know. I have the argument I would rather know. Based on having gone through it, where are you? Would you have rather just woken up and it was gone, or are you glad you knew in advance?
I like that I knew in advance because I knew it was going to be gone when I woke up. It would be a lot harder, say, if you lost it in the military or whatever, or a car accident, and it's all of a sudden. So dealing with different amputees, and Ted, yes, I love to tell my story. Anytime I run into you, I'll tell my story.
All right.
All right. Let me just ask, and I'm not trying to minimize the fact that you got your leg amputated, but are people disappointed when you share your story, right? Because if you say it was ripped off by a gorilla, it was bitten by a shark, we're like, whoa. When you're like, dude, diabetes and an infection.
Yeah, well, I start with either a shark bite story or a gorilla story, and then I move into actually diabetes.
Okay. Now, when you say you got an infection, that was on the inside. You really didn't know what was going on. It wasn't like you cut your leg or something, and then, it just spread, right?
Right, correct. So I have neuropathy because of my diabetes in both of my feet. Can't feel anything below the ankle.
Huh.
So that pressure sores and all that crap started happening, and literally the infection had set into the foot bone, and I became septic on our vacation before I lost my right leg.
Wow.
You're like the doctor from The Simpsons who chuckles after giving bad
now,
news.
if you got jeans on, if you have jeans on, do I have any idea that you don't have a leg from the knee down?
At this point, you would not know because it's been 5 years. So if I have any sort of jeans or slacks or anything on, you would not know that I'm a right leg amputee.
So your walking is fine, is what I mean.
Oh, my walking's great.
How many different prosthetics do you have?
I have a vehicle. So I've gone through 5 different prosthetics in the last 5 years. And the one I got now is the greatest. It's only 4.5 pounds, and it's all carbon fiber, and I could run, hike, fish, hunt.
You could, but do you?
That's my plan eventually. My Harley.
No, what happened? When you have
my Harley and start riding it again. What's up?
When you have an amputated leg, does that count? Like, do you have handicap tags?
Oh yeah, the handicap tags on my license plate. Yeah.
All right, so you could walk fine. Does anybody ever see you get out of your car?
Yeah, people see me get out of my car, and a lot of times I'm mostly wearing shorts because I'm all year-round short guy in the Northwest.
Well, only one leg's going to get cold.
Okay, so no one called you out hey, dude, get out of the handicap
Yeah, you're
spot.
walking fine, dude. What's with the handicap spot?
Yeah, that's not a problem. Okay, all I got to do is lift up my pants if I'm wearing pants. Do I qualify?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would put my head down and walk away.
Does your prosthetic look like a prosthetic or does it look like a leg? Because a buddy of mine, when we were roommates, we used to share a bedroom, right? First place we got together, and he was dating this woman named Diane, who was very cool, very sweet, but her prosthetic leg looked like a human leg. So I did not know. I knew she had a bit of a limp, but I did not know that she had an artificial leg until I went to bed one night, opened her bedroom door. They're laying in their bed together, and on the floor, I just see a human leg, and I about S myself.
Yeah, so you can have it look like a human leg. Mine's like the big springy ones that you see the guys running on.
Okay. And how much did that cost?
You can also, so it costs the insurance $18,000 every 5 years when I want a new leg.
I want a new leg.
Exactly.
Want the ball baby trip.
I work for a big commercial airplane company in this state, if you know what I mean.
No.
Yeah.
No.
We have no idea.
We have no idea. Airbus?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
All right. Wow. All right.
What is a story that you're always asked to retell? 206-803-ROCK.
Hello, Phil. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
All right, guys. I graduated from WSU back in the 80s. I go back every year for at least a couple of football games. So a couple of years ago, my wife and I we're sitting in the stands, and before the game, 2 guys in their 40s got in the seats right behind us. They obviously were exceptionally intoxicated, but they were very nice, so I just kind of looked over my right shoulder talking to them a couple of times. Well, after every big Cougar play, the guy sitting behind me, he'd pat me on the right shoulder. And as the first half went on, his pats became grips, and his grips got progressively harder. And after a pick six right before halftime, he slams his hand on my right shoulder and he grips down so hard it hurt unbelievably. And so I looked over my right shoulder and I go, "Hey!" So he was very remorseful, very sorry. So halftime comes. I didn't want any hard feelings, so I turned around and we had a nice chat. Well, you know why the guy was so strong?
No.
I hadn't seen him come in. He only had one arm.
Oh, man.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, at least he wasn't double-fisted before the game.
That's a good point. Sir, one beer at a time. I know.
Jeez.
I have no choice.
Right.
Yeah. That's great.
Hey, that still doesn't excuse why he's gripping on you.
Well, one, you're drunk, and like you said, that arm is going to be so much stronger than it probably would have been if you had two.
Yeah.
Every single thing. I think that was, and as you get drunk, you don't disperse your weight quite as well as you should.
Who Sucks Less is coming up, and we get your emails on the way next from the men's room at KISW.com.
99.9 KISW. We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Who Sucks Less is on the way, but first time for a few emails from the men's room at KISW.com. Got to one on our question. What is a story that you are always asked to retell? Guys, I was a counselor for a number of years during summers at camp, and every year they had a big show to surprise the campers during the week. It was a random act. Even the counselors didn't know what it would be before the show. Years past, it had been a hypnotist, music acts, jugglers. It's before the show, and my cabin campers are all excited. One of the other counselors suggests we go out to the field, play a little kickball. Cool. That'd be a good way to get it ready for, get the energy out before the show. Now, earlier that week, I had twisted my ankle, so I was in a boot. No kickball for me, but it'd be great for the kids. So we go out to the field and find one of the lead counselors standing next to a couple guys I don't recognize, and a huge grin is on his face. I don't think much of it. Meet the guys, have fun playing kickball. About an hour later, we get the bell to start the big show, line up and start going out to the barn, and hear a song on repeat. And I swear I recognize it. It sounds like the Presidents of the United States song. Curtains open, and we were playing kickball with Chris and Dave, bass and guitarist to the Presidents of the United States of America. Sam's a drummer.
That's pretty cool.
So I've kind of played kickball with the President of the United States.
Hey,
shout out to my friends on YouTube. That from Derby 420.
All right.
Okay, time for a couple of birthdays brought to you by Men's Room Roasted Red Salsa from San Juan Salsa Company.
Dip responsibly.
All right, let's see what we got here.
I'm getting tired of saying that, man.
What?
Dip responsibly?
I saw somebody this weekend, and I looked at him and said, "That's irresponsible dipping."
How do they dip irresponsibly?
Dip responsibly,
They
people.
double dip?
I'm telling you. It was just all over his face.
Come on.
Yeah, come on, man. San Juan's making a delicious product. You eat it proper.
Sorry, you're three.
This one says, "Hola, bitches."
Who's four?
It has come to my attention that on today, the 24th of June, our very own mistress of booze and new original Jennifer Richard is celebrating her 24th anniversary with KISW.
But it's an anniversary. It's not a birthday.
Yeah, we don't do anniversaries. We don't do dead people. We don't do your animals if they passed away. We don't do your animals if they're still alive.
Although I will point out, if you are on YouTube and you just watched the Rapunzel video, the In Action News team, Jen Richards did in fact supply the singing voice of Bonnie.
Well, there you go.
Yes, that was not Mike. That was in fact
I would
Mistress
also
of
add
Booze.
to my friends Phil and Tara, again, we don't do baby announcements. If we had, might have said congrats. But
On the day they're born.
Yeah, that's
the actual birthday.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it then. On to the real birthdays.
The real ones.
The ones where people are celebrating their birthday.
dip responsibly.
Which is why we do a birthday segment. All the bitches, I was super late to do this last year, and y'all don't do text message shout-outs, so I learned the hard way. Today is my Uncle T-Man's birthday. Thanks for always being there for me. Could you please give him a fish sandwich? And Coach Ted, inspiring him to stay healthy and live long time. I love you, Uncle. Love your favorite niece, Riley.
Damn it.
Two I get a fish sandwich?
Is she really right? Live long time?
She did.
You live long time.
Okay. Best way to live long time. Well, I don't know how old you are, dude, but I would recommend if you're over 40, get your physical, get your blood work done. If you have problems sleeping, maybe a CPAP.
And you're like a born-again Christian with that thing.
I got 7 hours last night.
I know. You're all about it.
I'm just saying, like, it's helped my blood pressure, a lot of other stuff.
What was your score?
Oh, I didn't look it up. I know. I don't look it up every day. I assumed it was a good one. But I don't know, man. Mix in some fruits and vegetables. Drink some green teas.
Or whiskey.
Yeah.
Look,
Eat some
I'm
milk
just going to
thistle.
say this. Every time that this person is 187 years old, male, female, doesn't matter, what's your secret to long life? Whiskey.
Yeah.
All of them. Across the board. No one
look.
says healthy living and yoga. They die in their 70s, but they'll crusty people that just won't die. It's always whiskey and cigars.
Mm-hmm. I follow a couple golf threads on Reddit. This morning, the first one I saw was this guy. He's 97 years old.
All right.
And he hits his first hole in one. 130-yard driver from the red tees. Okay? Par 3. Again,
How old is he?
97 years old.
Is he allowed to play for the women's tees?
Well, when you're a senior, you're 97 years
He's
old.
97.
I'm just asking.
Well, sometimes
I know how you are with rules.
The senior tees are often ahead of the red. So he's
really?
actually
Okay, all right.
he's actually playing a tee up.
Hey, just checking.
Yeah. But either way, he hits a 130-yard driver in the hole. They got a picture of him grinning ear to ear. He's got a Michelob Ultralight bottle in one hand and a cig in the other.
I'm just saying. That's a secret to a long life.
This guy's a legend. This guy's a legend. He's grinning ear to ear, first hole in one.
Got alcohol.
Ripping a
got nicotine.
cig. got an Ultra in his other hand, smiling ear to ear.
If I hit a hole in one in golf, I'd smoke a cig.
Yeah. All the guys want to wish my dad, Josh, a very happy 51st birthday and 28th wedding anniversary. So can we get a bong rip, turtle sex, and thrill shotgun gets? P.S. If you're in the Olympia area and need fireworks for the 4th, come see me at Brew Crew Fireworks on Chehalis Reservation, right near the Lucky Eagle Casino. That from Robert.
Get. I say get, not get.
All right, guys, here you go.
Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Happy, happy, happy birthday to you, to you, to you.
Ya's a Dirty Germans brought to you by Men's Room Original Sausage. Available through Uli's World Famous Sausage, mensroomlive.com, and other fine retailers. Schweinefleisch.
Thank you, Rob. A couple extra emails. This one says D-bags from yesterday's program. All the guys, I'm catching up on the Odyssey app on the subject of the biggest D-bags in music. I want you guys to know I worked security for Aaron Lewis for a 2-day event and never had a bad moment. He was very kind, offered me drinks, and gave me some free merchandise. So
Good for you.
That from Bear Bear. I'm glad you had a good experience with him.
Yeah.
Seriously. What else we got?
I don't hate the guy. I just don't like him.
Yeah. Let's see.
At all.
Mile High Club. All the guys, because we were trying to determine, I think we determined you needed to be like 5,000 some feet to technically, in our world, be in the Mile High Club because you are, in fact, a mile off of the ground.
Yes.
I mean, based on the definition of the
5,280. I believe that's what a mile is.
Yeah. Anyway, so it says, Ola, regarding the poll on Big Dummy, there is a way to join the Mile High Club without cramming yourself in a commercial jet laboratory and risking potential FAA problems. Love Cloud in Las Vegas offers pretty affordable, romantic, quote-unquote, flight tours.
Oh, that's right.
Or so I am told. Rock on, name withheld. And there's a picture in here. Basically, it is just a bed with pillows in the fuselage in the back of the airplane.
That is correct.
I do know about that, and I almost brought it up last week when we had that question, but I don't know. I don't think that counts. Part of the question was
It's kind of cheating.
was getting caught.
Yeah.
Or not, and just pulling it off.
And pulling it off, sure. But the risk of getting caught is what makes it, interesting.
Yep.
I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. I'm just saying.
Right. I think it's still awesome, but like that, that's already planned out for you.
But would you say you're part of the Mile High Club? I mean, technically, you've checked all the boxes. You had sex. You're a mile off the ground.
I guess you're right. Yeah, I mean, you're right. Technically, you're still a mile off the ground.
Yeah.
Low risk Mile High Club, yeah.
Subject nicknames. Ola Bacholas, catching up on your show on the Odyssey app. Subject of nicknames. In 9th grade, I was given the nickname Gibby, and it has stuck. Everyone calls me that. Professors, bosses, dad, except for my wife and some mom. I don't think the majority of my college teammates knew my first name until it was time for graduation. Went to a Catholic elementary school in Elk Ridge, Maryland. And similar to one Andy Mack, there were 6 other Josephs in my brother's first grade class.
At a Catholic school?
To this day, my dad still calls him Joe G. Finally, my dad's childhood nickname was Stump because of his short tree trunk legs. My mom hates the nickname, but fast forward 50 years, and that is what all of his grandkids call him now. So she has to love it. That from Gibby.
I know a guy we called Stumpy. His family called him that. People still call him Stumpy.
Why? Same general build?
Yeah, he was like a reverse Stump. Like he was a big dude with me, but he wasn't thick. He just had skinny legs and skinny arms, but just was mostly gut.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Look, it would have been mean, but his family called him Stump.
Oh, boy, sorry if this is a little long, but pretty funny on nicknames. Navy brought me here in 2005, and I shipped one of my cars over from Georgia. When I first got off the submarine and got in my car, I had the seek button and on my FM radio, landed on KISW. So I've been listening to your show the entire time you've been on. Love the show, catching up with the podcast. I heard you all talking about nicknames. Now, one of my best buddies I had in the Navy was a big brother named Charles Champion. Obviously, he got the nickname Champ. I don't believe you can get a better nickname than that. The thing about Champ is he was super proud of his afro. It was exactly 6 inches in bulk to comply with the military grooming standards. He even kept a mechanic's metal ruler in his pocket in case he got called out. All that to say this. When you pump a poop tank on a submarine, the primary method is to pressurize a tank to above sea pressure for whatever depth you're at. Well, one day, Champ went to take a crap and missed the sign that said that the tank was pressurized, and he decided to take a dump. When he pulled the flush valve, it sprayed him with pressurized crap water. The corpsman had to irrigate his eyes, nose, ears. He had to take 3 showers. He could not get the smell out, so he had to shave off his prized, beautiful afro.
No.
After that, my man got hit with the nickname Champoo. What a huge fall from grace. Love you guys, and cheers. That from Aaron in Gig Harbor.
Now, the men's room wants to know, who sucks less?
Hey, time for Who Sucks Less. Stephen Thrill, you bring us 3 stories from the news each and every week. They always suck. It is up to us to determine out of the 3 stories which one sucks the least. Now, if you happen to like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live, the debate is already underway on Who Sucks Less.
Yes, indeed. And like I said at the top of the show, these stories are just effed up. They're just effed up. They go all over the place. So, like I said, most people that end up getting herpes, there's some kind of sexual conquest behind it. Not in this case. And look, many have heard claims of retaliatory restaurant workers spitting in customers' food and hope it's just gross. And you hope it's an urban legend. Well, in McCurtain County, Oklahoma, a former Arby's manager is charged with felony poisoning, accused of spitting in a woman's food and, as a result, giving her herpes. That would be one Jenica Church. She says, quote, "I love Arby's, not anymore." After a long night of bartending, Church stopped in Arby's at Broken Bow, Oklahoma. Says it was taking a little bit of time. I thought they were mad at me because it was about to close. That's probably the case. Now, the video player is currently playing. Oh, sorry. All right. Now, Church said that she had a little history with Amanda Hendricks. That's the manager at the time, but nothing major. She went home, ate, shared the sandwich with her father-in-law and her grandfather-in-law. Now, she lives in a home with her husband, kids, and paternal grandparents. Well, after that night, her mouth flared up, and that had never happened before. So she went to the doctor, and the doctor said, "Hey, you got herpes." Now, because Broken Bow is a small town, word travels fast. Now,
What about the other 2? Did they get it too?
Not at the time of this being published.
Okay.
But I bet you they're worried about it once word gets out. Now, because it's a small town, word travels fast. And she says this woman, Hendricks, had been bragging about spitting in her sandwiches, and that's when the woman's daughter heard about it. So according to the affidavit, the police officers say they pulled camera footage from Arby's and, in fact, saw Hendricks spit in the food. She's charged with felony poisoning with intent to injure, and a warrant has been issued for her arrest. Now, Church and her family, they filed a lawsuit against Hendricks, Arby's, and her affiliated restaurant groups, claiming the incident has caused extreme anxiety, emotional distress, and, of course, fear of infection. And she fears that it'll impact her work in the service industry.
Did you hear what the woman said when the cops asked her about this?
Oh, what did she say?
She said, yeah, spitting the food, so what?
Good God. All right.
I get why that woman is also suing Arby's real quick, but also, like, Arby's certainly has something to do with it.
No.
I mean, they're still going to put the policy. Yeah, we don't encourage our employees to spit in your food, but you should know that. But anyway, yeah, got herpes because this woman spit in her Arby's. Got him.
And also, who shares a roast beef sandwich with 2 other people? That seems a little bit weird.
It is kind of weird.
I'm just like, here, you want a bite of us? Here, you take some. I think, no, it's my sandwich. I stopped after work. I picked it up.
Small town.
Oh. You couldn't get 3 sandwiches?
Now we have another story where a 30-year-old man, he's facing all kinds of charges because he likes to have sex. The problem is he likes to have sex with dead people. So this is following allegations that he forced entry into a morgue to engage in sexual acts with deceased individuals. Fennis Liu, he stands accused of using a crowbar to break into the medical examiner's office in Arizona. And surveillance footage captured him having sex with not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 corpses and tampering with the seals of 11 body bags. Now, he faces multiple felony charges, including burglary and sexual contact with a dead body. He did not show up at his court proceedings after being classified as a threat to himself and the public. And they're yet to notify the families of the deceased that are involved in the incident. Now, a spokesperson explained, quote, the state's been informed by law enforcement investigating this case that they need a little bit of time to make notification to the next of kin for the descendants in this matter. And they'd also like to take a little time to assess the potential impact to possibly other criminal cases in which the descendant may have been associated. So he's facing a total of 5 felony counts: 3rd-degree burglary, criminal damage and defacement, 2nd-degree escape from felony custody, possession of burglary tools, and sexual conduct with a dead person. Wow. Yeah. And now, this is a weird one. So visitors at a small English zoo, they witnessed something kind of crazy last Thursday after a man hurled a 3-year-old boy into the crocodile enclosure. So Cambridgeshire police, they were called to Johnson Zoo just after 1:20 in the afternoon local time. The child did suffer serious injuries, taken to the hospital, now in critical but stable conditions. Now, a 30-year-old man from Norfolk, he was arrested on suspicion of attempted murder. Detectives say they do not believe that he knew the child, which makes the whole thing crazy to me. Quote, we're speaking to people who were at zoo at the time of this distressing incident to understand more about the circumstances. Now, it's not clear whether the boy was attacked by crocodiles. Area resident, a guy named Mike Anicelli, he said to the local paper, the crocodiles, they're kept in a converted cattle barn. They're about 15 feet below the walkways and protected by 4-foot-high railings. Another visitor said that workers may have saved the boy's life. It appeared the staff or members of the public had gone into the enclosure to rescue the boy, almost certainly prevented further injury. He says he was at the zoo's tea room when somebody came in calling for help. Next thing we knew, staff were coming in from all directions, and a trucker buggy was rushed around, and the guy carried the poor lad out, put him on the trailer to administer first aid.
And that guy was arrested.
He was, in fact, arrested because apparently in England you can't pick up other people's kids and throw them into the crocodile enclosure.
Ted, you go first.
I mean, look, I think we all know how this is going to go.
I know, too.
Obviously, the lady spitting in the food. The only thing I can defend her on is maybe she didn't know she had mouth herpes.
Oh, you know.
I mean, maybe.
You have
what
cold
I'm
sores.
I say she.
Yes.
Right. Again, that's awful. And really just stop facing Arby's like that.
I know.
Right? I like
Do
Arby's.
the veggie grill.
Yeah. The man in England, I don't know what would fathom you to throw it. Well, certainly not your own children, but any child. Like, first of all, don't touch other 3-year-olds.
And then if you are, don't throw them into the crocodile enclosure.
Right. So that's absolutely insane.
So what are you saying, Ted?
What I'm saying is, look, the guy in Arizona that broke into the morgue and had sex with the dead bodies. This is awful.
He had sex with
Sure is.
In one break-in. That's just one break-in. The man had sex with 4 corpses.
But at least those people were already dead, so nobody living got hurt.
Yeah.
And most of the people on our Medroom Facebook page kind of agree. It's like, that's an awful, awful story. But compared to the other 2, I will say it sucks the least.
Look, I agree with him. And that's part of the reason I put these stories together, because it's like, look, How can you have sex with 4 corpses and not be the worst person in a news story?
Correct.
This is how. Wow.
I mean, that's unbelievable. Miles, I'm assuming you agree?
I sure do, Ted.
Yeah. I got through it.
I sure do.
Painfully.
Exactly.
That's,
So, yeah, neprophiliac. He sucks the least.
He sucks the least.
He's our guy.
What are the other 2 options?
Debate continues on Who Sucks Less. If you like the Men's Room on Facebook or follow us on X and Instagram at Men's Room Live. All right, coming up at 5:08, we'll drink a toast with a shot of the day. You are listening to the Men's Room.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill.
All right, coming up at 5:08, we'll drink and toast with a shot of the day. And we do have your headlines on the way at 5:50. But first, quick check-in with Mike Hawk and some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
Well, thank you, Miles. A new study has found that taking a 5-minute walk every hour at work helps boost the well-being of employees without losing efficiency.
Is this a humble brag on your part? Since you're constantly walking those here to get your steps in.
I decided to get it in there. You know, I felt like that added a positivity to the conversation, yeah.
You feel more positive?
I do.
Really?
I feel very positive.
I mean, it feels like Mike's just putting out a lot of stories about walking around the office.
Yeah.
And you lazy bastards do that? Sorry.
Good save, Ted. Well done.
Well, that would have been a bad one to slip up on.
It actually only started because there was one day I was just burned out. I was exhausted, and you guys were going down, and you had talked about how your smoke breaks. It's kind of a, no pun intended, it's a breath of fresh air. It's just it's a way to reset yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was like, screw it. I'm just going to take my own 5-minute break. You know,
we were trying to get you to smoke, dummy.
I know you were. Because the complaint is that, you know, how come if I don't smoke, I have to work the entire day, but if I do smoke, I get 10 minutes breaks every hour. It's like, F it. This is my 10-minute break every hour. And then it's like,
you can get up and walk around.
Yeah.
Take a break.
It's like, it's great.
That's what I would do.
I get to catch up with all my coworkers out there. Give our friend Bree some grief over there.
With her Brazilian Mexican heritage.
With her Brazilian Mexican heritage. I go over there, I'm like, I'm cheering for Scotland because, you know, I got the Scottish heritage in me. She's like, well, I'm cheering for Brazil for my heritage. I said, you're Brazilian? She says, no, I'm Mexican. Free.
All right. Yeah, sure.
There's logic. A county in Florida is now adding traffic lights to their new roundabouts.
Yeah. Oh, because people don't know how to use them.
Because they don't know how they work.
That's the point of the roundabout.
That's supposed to alleviate that. I mean,
Seattle's dropping them all over the place now, at least in North Seattle, and people are struggling mightily.
The one I can't believe that hasn't caught on yet is jug handles.
Jug handles, what is that?
Pretty well exclusively to New Jersey. But, okay, so if you were going to make a left turn, you don't make a left turn.
Okay.
Right? You go through the light, all right?
Okay.
And you make, as soon as you get through the light, you make a little right loop-to-loop exit.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then it spins you back around to make your left.
So it's kind of like a clover leaf without...
Correct. So there's no arrows. You don't have to wait for people to make that left turn.
Yeah.
You go through the light, you stay in the right lane, it'll swing you around, and it continues green from that point, and then you go that way.
Okay. I dig it. That way you don't have to worry about the traffic coming at you.
Especially if you're a motorcyclist. You don't get left-hand turned.
Yeah. There you go. Okay, I dig that. I just don't know how roundabouts are so hard.
They're not, but I think people just get paranoid when they get to them.
Yeah.
They're not difficult, but if you're not used to them, like if you go to Boston, they're everywhere. And they will go through a traffic circle at like 50 freaking miles an hour. It will terrify you.
Yeah.
But yeah, people slow down. And like I said, because you're not used to them and they're just suddenly everywhere.
Freaked my dad out when we went to Scotland because, one, they're driving on the wrong side of the road over there, and then their freeways have roundabouts. Yes. 3 lanes of roundabouts. Driving on the wrong side of the car, on the wrong side of the road.
No, thank you.
Good googa mugga.
I'll take a tour bus.
Did they have signs? When we were in London, the one thing that we noticed, and when you get to any intersection, there are signs everywhere that basically just says, look the other way.
Oh.
Because almost all the tourists that come in, right? Well, they're on the same side of the road, but you get, and it is habitual. I would get to an intersection, I'm looking to my left, and I realize traffic's to my right. So you wander out in traffic probably 50% of the time.
Yeah. I had a stranger save me in London.
Same thing?
Because you were looking the wrong way.
I looked the wrong way, and he just like grabbed me. And I was like, thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm stupid.
I can tell. He had a baseball cap on. I knew.
He knew right away.
Oh, yeah. American,
huh?
Yes. All right.
By the way, why don't you guys fix this? Right? It's only the Brits, right?
No, I want to say Japan.
Jamaica.
There's not many.
There's not many.
Honestly, with as much of them that are complaining that we don't use the metric system, we should complain more that they drive on the wrong side of the road.
I do it, hey, straight up trade. Let's all agree to drive on one side. I'm cool with the metric system.
You're right. It's going to be crazy inconvenient for both. Let's fix this.
Let's just do it.
Let's just do it. New research has found that pop songs have grown meaner and more immoral over the last 60 years.
Well, sure.
Things
You can
have
get away
gotten-
with more.
Things have gotten more loose, and they
Well,
changed.
plus also
like
I used to be
like
able to
Lano.
do, and as time progresses and things happen in this country and there's a response to it, it's like, yeah, what do you think's going to happen?
Right.
Yeah. And oftentimes, too, there's songs that I knew for years that I didn't think were anything about anything. And then I found out it was about a guy using drugs. I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, true enough. True enough.
There is some good pop songs, though, that
They're
we listen to
mean.
the lyrics. Yeah, a little mean.
I mean, you and I, we both like Sabrina Carpenter. And
I
she
was
just,
thinking about Man-Child right now.
She just S's on dudes the entire time. It's
Yeah.
like, I love it, yeah. Put your thinking caps on, Jen. It's time for the Merriam-Webster word of the day. Still open competition here. I give you guys a 70% chance of success. It is a noun brought to you by the letter P. Careful. It usually refers to a group of famous or notable people or things. A P word that refers to a group of famous or notable things. A noun, a P
A
word.
noun.
That usually refers
A
to a
group.
group of famous or notable people or things. They also say it also refers to the officially recognized gods of a particular people, as well as the
Pantheon.
Bam. See it,
right.
Frodo? You got to know
Nice
where to
work.
Pantheon.
yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like, where do you sit in the pantheon of actors?
There
Right,
you go.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah, we don't hear that word much here.
They couldn't even show up and take your coworker to work day.
Yeah, I know.
Today's the day, man. A new study found that real and fake wait a minute. No, hang on. I'm going to pass on that one for right now. There's new evidence to suggest that moose were actually native to Colorado long before they were reintroduced back in 1978.
Colorado, huh?
Colorado. That doesn't shock me. That's still kind of in that area that I would feel like I would see a moose.
Mountains, snow.
Right.
Right.
You know, I don't know if they're considered native here, but I wouldn't be shocked if one wandered on down here and just found good footing to be around here. They like big wooded cold areas.
Yeah, I feel like where you find bison, you'll probably find moose.
Sure. We don't have a great history with the hunting of giant mammals.
That's
No.
fair.
Well, we basically almost killed out bison. Luckily, we kind of rebuilt them.
Elk
Not
as well.
rebuilt them. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure there was a ton of moose in a lot of places.
You bet.
You know, you hunt them out, they leave.
Ta-da. Nearly 90% of Americans distrust AI. Good.
All right, well, yeah,
Good.
that's healthy.
You know, it has its purposes, and you should question what you read from AI because it's not all knowing.
I mean, that's all.
It
And
is
again,
artificial intelligence. It literally means fake intelligence.
And it's generally the aggregate of whatever historically we have recorded.
Correct.
Unless it has its hallucination. Man, my buddy, he's in from out of town, just went on an Alaskan cruise with his family, but he works in the AI security world. He's the third guy I know that works in this ass. Now I'm talking, but man, just talking to him Saturday. He's like, bro, there's so many things you don't know, but he's like, I don't trust it, and I work with it.
Right.
You know, he's like, I trust it as far as being like a calculator, trust it. You know, 1 + 1 = 2. He can figure that out. But he goes, when it just comes to like life advice stuff, it's like if it's not purely analytical, and even then, he's like, I don't trust it. I'm like, but you work with it. He's like, exactly.
I actually did read another deal that when it comes to its language and the words that it's using, like people, it's starting to forget older words. When it notices in our speech patterns that it's starting to forget that words are, you know, down in their usage,
Yeah.
it will also decrease the amount that it's using those words.
Well, because it's not in the articles and everything it's reading online.
Right, to
because it's
regurgitate,
not being
correct.
used by, humans.
So why do we need data centers if you're going to start forgetting stuff? Just start forgetting.
Well,
it
you
all.
also don't want to use something that no one knows.
Exactly. It wants to make sense. And that's where I do find it fascinating. Its ability to actually kind of think, quote unquote, for itself.
It does some
And figure
very
these things
cool
out.
things. And like anything, so there's nothing wrong with a hammer unless I take the hammer and bash you over the head with it. So it's more the bad actors kind of use it for stuff. But generally speaking, it just is what it is. It is a tool.
A new study found that real and fake laughs come from different parts of the brain.
You don't say.
Totally just led that one there. But you know what? I wanted to look about laughs.
The Men's Room Top 10. The Men's Room Top 10.
So I decided to look this up. This is from factretriever.com, and it is some fascinating laughing facts. We like to laugh on this show. We enjoy it. Down here it says that laughter reduces pain, reduces blood sugar levels, increases glucose tolerance in diabetics and non-diabetics, improves job performance, and brings people together.
It does.
All right.
Laughter is truly the best medicine. I learned that when I was a very young kid. I feel like there was a Reader's Digest column that was literally called "Laughter's the Best Medicine," and it was just bits, and I loved it.
Okay.
It made me laugh my ass off the entire time. It was stupid.
I mean,
it
you never meet anyone who says, "I don't like to laugh."
Yeah.
You might not like to cry. You don't want to get angry, but no, I hate when I laugh. Like, you might not like the sound of your laugh, but everyone enjoys laughing.
But there are those people that challenge the laughter.
What do you mean?
They challenge it. People try to be funny.
Sure.
You go in any given day, you will find somebody that tries some way to make somebody laugh.
Of course.
There's always the one that has to challenge it. That's not funny.
Yeah, well, yeah.
This is funny to who? Oh.
That's why they created chats.
Yeah, exactly.
I would just like to point out, while the rest of you are being entertained, I'm the guy that sucks. Like, it's fine, but why do you have to share? Mm-hmm. What do I like laughing?
Laughter, such as nervous laughter, is often used as a defense mechanism against anxiety or fear.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
why it's nervous laughter.
Not so much now, but man, when he was a kid, and like I said, he's a really, really good kid. Maybe twice a year did he do something that really had to address it. Mm-hmm. And I'd be pissed, but he knew I was pissed. Generally at home, I'm not that angry about things. I think our whole conversation was like, dude, and the whole conversation's explained. But when we have to have an actual conversation, and I'm mad, he kept chuckling. Like, I did not realize he had a nervous laugh. And I'm like, what? And he's like, no, I'm sorry. So, okay. So I start again, right? I'm laying into So I walked out of the room and I said to my wife, I'm going to kill that mother effer if he and she goes, listen, that is his nervous laugh. I'm like, for real? She goes, yeah, he does not think this is funny at all. He's actually very upset, but he knows that you are outwardly pissed. So, yeah.
I'm a nervous laugher.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, I gotta be, like somebody said, it's not funny. It's like, it's not funny. This whole thing is bad and ridiculous. I just can't believe we're having this conversation.
Right. I'm about to say, it's also not nervous. Sometimes you have rage laughter. When you are fed up with somebody, you're talking to them, and they clearly just don't understand.
Ted's laughing.
Why don't you tell me what we're doing?
Okay. There it is. Explain it to me like I'm 5. It makes no sense.
Laughter yoga. You guys ever heard of laughter yoga?
No.
It's a type of yoga that combines laughter, deep breathing, and playful exercises.
Ooh.
Sorry. How playful we get.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a little playful.
Laughing too hard can cause cataplexy or sudden and uncontrollable muscle weakness. A person experiencing this is still awake and aware, but they are unable to move. You literally laugh yourself into paralysis.
Jesus. I want to hear
that one before.
Jeez, a whiz. Laughter improves cardiovascular health and increases blood flow. This is a fun fact. You did not know this about laughter. Children who are born blind and deaf are able to laugh.
How do we not know that?
I don't know.
Blind and deaf?
Blind and deaf.
Why didn't think the kid couldn't laugh?
Yeah. He might not know what's funny, but I assume he can laugh.
I don't know how he got the joke.
He knows all the emotions.
Right.
He got the joke.
Anger, sadness.
He's right to laugh.
Happiness.
I think the miracle worker was sitting there with Helen Keller's hand just telling her jokes from time to time.
You had to. Knock, knock. Yeah. You think they ever told her Helen Keller jokes? Like, listen, this is how kids are going to be introduced to the fact that when I found out she was a real person,
right,
it blew my mind. I heard Helen Keller jokes like starting in kindergarten, and now there's all some character we made up to tell these jokes. And then later in school, like historically speaking, Helen Keller, and I mean, everyone in the class started chuckling, and the teacher's like, no, this is a real person. We're like, oh, God.
Yeah.
No.
Just come in. What are you doing? Sorry, Bree's out there.
Get your ass in here. What are you doing, Bree? Grab that microphone.
It's our
right
Brazilian Mexican
That's
descended.
Right. Grab that microphone right there. What's going on out there?
The score.
Oh no,
it's not looking good for you, Mike.
I know it's not. I'm over here.
Brazil versus Scotland.
I know. I knew they were going to do well.
Whoever,
You just keep putting the boot on my head and shoving me deeper.
Do you want to know what the score is?
What is the score, Bree?
3-0.
Oh, blast it.
That'd be 3-0.
Nil.
Speak soccer.
I was heading out, and I just see the big screen over, and I was like, oh, no. I got to tell Mike. I got to rub it in.
She's like my daughter.
Yeah,
Mike, I'm going to rub this in your face. Your team's losing. My daughter does it to him, too.
Right. Yeah.
Except the Mariners had a chance against the Orioles.
Yeah, I know. I already knew that our chances were slim, but that's fun. Thank you, Bree.
Yeah. I just wanted to give that, so you could just ride all the way home and just think about that.
I appreciate you. I appreciate it. More fun facts about laughter.
Oh, I just got it.
Thanks for bringing her in.
Yeah.
Personal ads for both men and women mention humor more often than education, intelligence, profession, or sexual drive.
Said personal ads?
Personal ads.
Like,
Really?
You know, like on dating sites. Like, I enjoy laughter.
I'm not on dating sites, so I would not know.
Personal. It's not personal ads. Like,
Okay.
I can help you laugh.
Research shows that people who laugh at dark jokes have higher IQs and report less aggressive tendencies. I believe we brought that up not terribly long ago.
I mean, it makes sense to understand that it is a joke and not just awful.
Right.
Because that's not funny. Like, well, there's a joke in there, right? So if you don't get it, you're just not tracking.
I follow a guy on Instagram, and it just says, if you laugh at this, you're going to hell. And then it's just the comments under some video.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen
They're hilarious.
Laughing just 10 to 15 minutes a day can burn up to 40 calories.
Wow.
Really?
That's a long time to laugh, though.
That's why I'm so skinny.
10 to 15 minutes
I mean,
a
who
day?
laughs 10 to 15 minutes?
Well, I mean, if you added up aggregate to the court you're awake for, say 16 hours out of the day,
Yeah.
that's about a minute an hour that you're laughing at something. I think that tracks.
Okay.
Oh, they got laughed at the goddamn thing from 11 to noon today.
Okay, well, that hour's gone. And then there's Ted who only laughs when he's angry.
I laughed till after 1 p.m.
The fear of laughter. Gelotophobia. Those who suffer from gelotophobia respond to all laughter as if it's at their expense. Up to 13% of the population could be afraid of laughter.
Well, they're right. We're laughing at you.
Right.
Remember, just because you're paranoid doesn't mean you're wrong.
The laughter is not with you, it is at you.
I hate if something goes down at a funeral, that just seems, and like funerals are not funny. I understand that. But every once in a while, there's a moment that might be lost in other people. And between you and like your family or your friends that are there, you're like, this is hilarious. And we're all trying not to burst out in laughter.
Right. Because not the right place.
No, it's a really rough crowd, man.
Again, this happened to me personally. It's Arlington National Cemetery. It's my father. They do the whole ceremony. Then I'm walking the box of ashes over to put in the thing.
Okay.
I mean, it's very serious. Put it in there. Turn around, and my uncle's laughing. He's like, zippers down.
Oh!
At Arlington, Dad.
At Arlington.
Doggone
I
it.
disrespected my dad and the country.
He did it on purpose. Hanging out, tell you.
Just I can picture his face. This big ass-eating grin. He's like, flies down.
Well, there's the red. Where's the white and blue?
Laughter's contagious. Just watching people laugh activates the brain to prepare facial muscles to join in.
Yeah.
Prepare your face. It's about to laugh.
Comedians should say that when they walk out. Prepare your face, everybody. I'm about to be damn funny.
It's going to hurt.
Make you laugh so hard you're going to poop yourself.
It's like if you're in a room, I've been in a room with like a toddler. My friend walked in, he's like, what are you guys laughing at? I'm like, I don't know.
Right, he's
the baby
laughing.
started, the kid was laughing, I started laughing.
That's right. Research shows that couples who laugh together are more likely to have a longer relationship. What is important is not so much finding a partner with a sense of humor, but rather that partners can create humor together.
Yeah, of course, man. Like, what are you...
I hate her. She's a bitch. We laugh together all the time.
God, every damn laugh at my wife. F her. Who says that?
I hate going home. We just laugh together.
Yeah, right. I hate being there.
Burning 40 calories at a time. Damn it. Monkeys and rats laugh.
Okay.
That's quite a way to make that statement.
So do hyenas.
It's not the kid who just has an outburst in the back of the club. Do you have Tourette's? Monkeys and rats laugh.
Pretty sure parrots laugh at you.
Parrots? Mm-hmm. Oh, they laugh. I know the rats laugh. They discovered the rats laugh when you tickle.
I'm about to say, didn't they tickle rats?
Who had the idea? Well, I mean, it's interesting when they go, did you know if you tickle a rat, it laughs? I go, cool.
Tickle that rat.
Who thought, hey, man, let's go tickle that rat.
But you can tickle animals, though. You ever tickle a dog's foot?
No.
Jesus. Wow.
No, Mike, I have not. I'll be
What
that
you
honest.
do?
Ticky,
They
ticky.
got their little foot stick in there, and usually they have little hair between their little paw pads.
Yeah.
And if you just gently touch that hair, then they'll jerk it because it tickles them.
Well, I know that. I thought they hated it.
That's tickling it. Well, nobody likes being tickled, Ted.
There's a thin line in your
Elmo
house
does.
between tickle and torture.
Yes, there is. Tickling is torture. You've been tickled. Researchers speculate that humans laughed before they could speak.
So you think the first words ever spoken were, what the hell is so funny?
Your shirt's on backwards. Can't say it.
Just can't say it out loud. But fun fact, humans are born with the capacity to laugh. The syllables ha ha, ho ho, and hee hee are part of the universal human vocabulary, and all cultures recognize them.
Huh.
So we are actually born with those words. And then I'll leave you with this last and final fun fact about laughter. The age at which we laugh the most exuberantly.
Ooh. Exuberantly.
Exuberantly laughed.
Well, 15.
7.
15, 7, 10. 10. Bray with your phone.
Sorry.
5 and 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to think back to like when you made them laugh at that age, it was hysterical to them. Right?
Oh, yeah.
That you almost can't lose as a parent in that moment unless you just suck. You kind of you tell them one joke, and for an hour. They'll like, tell it again.
Kidding. Just hit
One thing that's weird about kids,
Again.
they will laugh at the same joke over and over. Like, I've told you this joke 25 times in a row. It's not fun.
It's still hilarious. I used to listen to the same comedy special over and over and over
that's
and
fair.
over again. A woman in Florida was tired of getting woken up by her neighbors, and she took things just a little too far, Miles.
What did she do?
Tell you all about it at 5:50.
Thank you, sir. Headlines are coming up at 5:50. In the meantime, have we made it to drinking time?
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the men's room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve at Thrill Hill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. And today we toast Andrew Martin. Andrew is one of the players in the World Series of Poker $1,000 Super Seniors Tournament. Well, on day of the tournament, Andrew was issued a warning because of his card guard. Are you familiar?
No.
Okay. If you don't know, a card guard is used to protect your hand. So sometimes a dealer, they'll reach for cards that they shouldn't. The card guard is a gentle reminder that your cards are still in play. So you place this thing on top of your chips, and when the dealer looks, what you're saying, I'm still in play. Okay, right? That's all it is. And all the poker players use it. Now, official tournament rules, they state that there will be no foreign objects on the table except for a maximum of one card guard. They can be no longer than 2 inches in diameter and no more than 1/2 inch in depth. And Andrew's card guard, it met those requirements. He was, however, issued a warning because the card guard of choice happened to be a stainless steel butt plug. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a straight up butt plug, man. And he has it on top of his chips. They look very unhappy, but as he points out, he went through the rules for 2026. It doesn't say you can't use a butt plug. It met all the measurement requirements. I mean,
all right.
That's all. So, yeah, he was issued a warning. So, if you play poker, don't use a butt plug as a card guard. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola, bitchola.
All right, let's get a contestant on the line now for Profile This, 206-803-ROCK. Profile This is next.
The men's room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Thrill Hill, please start rolling out Profile This is played.
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Dave. Welcome to the men's room.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores. All right, Dave, you understand how this here game is played?
I do.
Fantastic. You have your choice today, as always, of one of 3 categories. Today, we offer you the wonderful world of drugs. We have Animalize This, where you guess the animal responsible for causing the problem. And finally, today, License to Spill, where you guess the substance responsible for creating the mess.
It's a nice day for drugs.
All right, we go to the state of Ohio, where a man was arrested. 2 witnesses called police about the man, who seemed intoxicated. He was stumbling around in an intersection. Even better, his pants were down, and witnesses believed that he'd soiled himself. I think we can piece together how they came to that conclusion. Now, when police arrived, they saw the man standing bent over, his head nearly touching the ground. The man's pupils were pinpoint. His body shook. But he told the story that made no sense. The man said that he was on the phone with someone, but his phone was shattered on the ground about 15 feet away. Now, the man tried to walk away several times, and police warned him that he would be arrested for obstructing official business if he didn't just stand still for a goddamn minute. Now, the man kept trying to walk away, so they finally just put him in handcuffs. That's when they found narcotics in his pants pocket. In the man's lunch bag, police found even more drugs. So police took the man first to a hospital to get his ass checked out, and then finally they drove him to jail. Now the question is, what drug was this man on with his pants down, soiling himself? Was it methamphetamine? Was it heroin? Was it fentanyl? Or was it Ambien? So meth, heroin, fentanyl, or Ambien?
First off, go Mariners.
Yeah, go Mariners.
Nice segue. I like that.
Dave, I think I'm going to go Ambien.
How about you, Ted?
Just based on how he said his pupils were tiny, right?
They said pinpoint. Yes.
Pinpoint. I think that's more of a meth thing.
Okay, go meth.
Yeah. I could be wrong. They might make them bigger. I don't know.
Well, they said he was doubled over.
Yep.
So that's the fentanyl bans. The driving through Seattle, I see that all the time. People sleeping with their head down by their ankles, standing up.
You're not wrong, Dave.
Fentanyl.
I mean, that's
Gonna go fentanyl.
all right. Okay.
Fentanyl.
What was this guy on? Meth, heroin, fentanyl, or Ambien? We'll find out next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room. Category is drugs on profile. This as we head to Ohio, where a man was arrested after stumbling around an intersection. He had his pants down, appeared to have pooped himself. He was, in fact, on drugs. Question is, was he on meth, heroin, fentanyl, or Ambien?
And Dave, that is a question that we pose to you. Let us start with That's Montgomery. What with the old Ambien?
I think Dave's right on this one.
It's not Ambien. D. Ted Smith, you went with meth because pupils were dilated, but they also might be big. Frankly, we don't know. But it was not meth.
All right.
Dave, that leaves you. You went in fentanyl, and you based this on, well, our particular surroundings here where people are dead asleep even though their face is next to the ground and they're still standing up. And you are correct, sir.
Oh, good call.
They should give that to people who do, like, I don't know, like gymnastics. Or like, you know, like on
just limber up.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, so
limber up while you sleep.
That way they can bend over, do all the stuff on the balance beam. You know, everything.
They've never, ever trained
move.
in gymnastics.
Right.
He's simply on fentanyl, ladies and
I guarantee you those guys could walk a tightrope. They don't even know it.
Eyes closed.
They're looking
stand
down.
on it.
Down.
Yeah, exactly. For sure. Now for all TV news all the time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. You got the Jimmys,
Fallon and Kimmel,
Seth Meyers, Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title. These guys have teams of talents, writers, something come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
This is a wild story. A giraffe on a game reserve in Texas is lost and people can't find it yet. Some people think the giraffe is trying to run for his freedom, and that is something we can all look up to.
The Ted Smith.
God, I hope that's you. I'll say Fallon.
That's me.
Wow, that was a great one.
That giraffe joke.
Yeah. You know, he's been on the land for a week. A week.
Yeah, man.
You can't spot a giraffe on one of the flattest states in the United States in a week.
It's telling me that giraffe is super smart.
Where is he hiding?
Maybe there's just one tree, and he's like, just stand back here.
Jesus.
It's funny.
You see
He's
those
just
things from a
standing,
mile
standing.
away. I've seen them. I mean,
They said
you
it's
see 'em
16 feet tall.
Like, let's go over there and see that giraffe. You can see him right over there.
How
All
do you
right.
know they're there? Because I can see them.
Exactly.
The FAA wants to use AI to reduce flights and manage air traffic. Meanwhile, Southwest says they're going to keep guiding their planes in by having their pilot shouting Marco and then shouting back Polo.
Fallon?
That's Fallon.
That's Fallon.
The FAA wants to use AI to reduce flight delays and manage air traffic. Meanwhile, Southwest says they're going to keep guiding their planes by having the pilot shout Marco and then shouting back Polo.
It's shots at Southwest now, huh? Mm-hmm. Well, I guess
Spirit's gone.
Spirit's gone.
Next up.
World Cup fans are taking bottles of ranch dressing home as souvenirs, so the TSA had to issue a reminder that you can't pack them in your carry-ons. It was tough seeing someone at TSA having to quickly chug a bottle of Hidden Valley.
Fallon again.
Fallon.
Yeah, that's fine.
You guys hear about this? World Cup fans are taking bottles of ranch dressing home as souvenirs, and the TSA had to issue a reminder you can't pack them in your carry-ons. It's tough seeing someone at security having to quickly chug a bottle of Hidden Valley.
Really, man? They can't. I guess you put it in
okay.
the
liquid. You guys have both spent more time in Europe than I have. Mayonnaise not a thing.
Mayonnaise is pretty big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mayonnaise is big. So, like, even when you order fries, at least in England, you got vinegar, you got mayonnaise.
Okay.
You would ask
I'm
for
assuming
ketchup.
they have buttermilk. All you need to do is take the packets home. You can make it at home.
Well, sure.
You can make a ton of it if you just brought the packets.
But it's just not.
I don't know if they would even sell a ranch packet in England.
Because no one's aware of it. Like, they have come to the States and they're like, oh, my God, this is the
Guys,
greatest condiment.
I have
So
a-
word's getting over there, but it wasn't, like Ted said, man, no one's even conscious that ranch exists.
So how come Hidden Valley's not saying, guys, we have a completely amazing opportunity?
I think they
right
will.
now.
I think
I mean,
after the World
seriously.
Cup, they'll be like, look, man,
Yeah, I would also think, you got to look at the ingredients.
that might have a
buttermilk, mayonnaise.
Well,
packet.
right, but there's stuff in that packet and everything, right? Like to make seasonings. Well, in our country, you can add a bunch
You
of
can add anything you want, right?
Right. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, you
They
might
just
be right.
have different food rules, but it does seem like this would be the time to send ranch dressing to England, Scotland, and
Well, they're getting more pub. Some of these social media guys getting millions of followers now just because they're here in the States, but everyone brings up. I mean, hell, you might go to London. We got ranch dressing. We opened our first Waffle House. There's a Buc-ee's. And people are losing their mind, man.
I mean, the only bad thing is, I think some people, like if you live in another country and you're watching this, like the Japanese were down in Texas.
Yeah.
So there's videos of Japanese people trying Texas barbecue. But I would hate to be like, imagine you're a Japanese person, you're like, we're going to Seattle, we got to get some of that barbecue.
Like, nope.
There's a couple places, but it's not like going to Texas.
No, it's not.
No,
Not at all.
You'll learn that.
All right. I think everybody in here would know this song. Miles, you know it intimately. From childbirth, I would say through college. Country Roads.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously, and again, you know what? A lot of people probably don't know this that live in Seattle. Like West Virginia like every bar in West Virginia plays it at last call.
It
Right?
comes on at 1:57.
Yeah. And then West Virginia.
3 minutes long.
West Virginia University, they sing it. They just had a great run, made it to the College World Series. They're singing it. Now, I didn't really think about that song being big until we were in Germany and they played it at the Seahawks game, and all those Germans were singing it. So it is.
And Bruce Irvin and Geno Smith lost their frickin' mind on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because they went to West Virginia. So they're looking around like going, what is going on in Munich?
So Saturday.
That's a fair question.
Saturday. Last Friday, after that USA match, they played it here, and everybody was singing it. I do think it's kind of funny that people are like, oh, every American knows that song. I'm like, they do, but it's such a drinking song. Like, I bet the Australians knew it too.
Yeah.
So anyhow, basically, it's become like the victory anthem for the national team.
All right.
They were, like I said, after Australia, they were playing it. So FIFA asked each country's team to send in a list of potential songs to play after a win. So the USA sent in Neil Diamond's Sweet Caroline.
Of course.
Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer.
Yep.
And then John Denver's song, which they played Sweet Caroline in Pioneer Square after the first game.
Yeah.
I was singing it.
Yeah.
So basically, England claimed Neil Diamond. FIFA's using Bon Jovi for their second half hydration break. So basically, we were left with Country Roads. They started using it, and it worked.
We're just taking off.
Yeah. Now, Miles, you're from West Virginia. Like, do you think people there will be like, hey, that's kind of our song?
I think that if people enjoy listening to it, I mean, that's really all that matters. I mean,
Didn't you say, though, that it's not about the state of West Virginia,
Yeah.
it's about the state of Virginia, but the western part?
That's correct. Yeah, and we knew that growing up. So
he's not
it doesn't
singing
matter.
about your
it's
state.
almost heaven, West Virginia. You go to West Virginia, and every sign driving in says almost heaven, West Virginia.
All right.
If you've lived in West Virginia, it's the farthest thing away from heaven. It's got some beautiful things, but as far as the people are wonderful. The mountains are beautiful,
Except the ones that strip mine.
but yeah, there's a lot more
Poverty
bad in West Virginia than there is good, so
Sure.
to speak. All right. So Western Virginia, for an example, the Shenandoah River does not go through West Virginia. It actually goes through Virginia, and it goes close to the Panhandle.
Yeah.
The Blue Ridge Mountains, the Blue Ridge Parkway, that national park, that is all in Virginia. It's completely encapsulated.
So, like,
in
everything
Virginia.
he's singing about is in
Yeah,
Virginia,
it'd be like,
but
right.
it's in the
It'd be
western
like-
part
yeah,
of Virginia.
I love Washington, Crater Lake, and Coeur d'Alene.
Right.
Yeah.
Portland. No. It's not even geographically correct. I'm not saying that he didn't mean it to be about the state. He just wasn't speaking of the state.
Right. But it is West Virginia's song.
Yeah,
Right.
correct,
Like, as a
correct.
Maryland fan, like, their fans would sing it all the time when you play them in football. So, like, I grew up kind of hating it. And
Of
I always
course.
pretty much hated it until I saw the exuberance and all those Germans and everybody else singing it. Like, I remember talking to my cousin, and he's like, you can't like that song. I was like, I like it now. I get it. It's more than just West Virginia. Apparently, it's become like a thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if the national team's going to play it, I'll sing it.
Cool. Why not?
Why not? Plus, I mean, I don't know. West Virginia's not that bad. Like our friendly neighbor.
Yeah.
It's got that eats roadkill.
The friendly neighbor that eats roadkill.
Loves Jesus. Eats roadkill.
Danny Petoro. He was on Who's the Boss?
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, a lot of Who's the Boss action. He got a photograph of him working for Amazon, delivering packages.
All right.
So somebody went and talked to him, and he's like, I don't make a ton of money off those residuals. And he's like, I'm an adult. Like, I need to make money and stuff. So he's just like, look, I'm just doing what I got to do to survive. Keep moving as humans.
He's still a working actor. He's still trying to get gigs.
He is, right?
I mean,
That's just saying. He's like,
I know a lot of actors that also deliver for Amazon. I mean, it's no different. He's had a shot.
You need to have a flexible schedule if you get called in for a casting call or whatever.
Sure.
So you can't have a full-time job and then, go in at 2:00 in the afternoon and, try to get a role.
Yeah, and a lot of times, too, just because you see somebody on TV or whatever, like...
They're not necessarily rich.
Correct.
I mean, that right? And when was Who's the Boss on? Right, in the 80s?
Yeah.
Like, God, I mean, like 4 decades has gone by.
Steve-O just did a whole interview about that. He's like, look, man, I got bit by a shark in the second episode of Jackass on MTV. He's like, I was surfing couches. He's like, I wasn't getting paid anything.
Everyone knows who I am, but I'm sleeping on my buddy's couch.
Yeah, I was just watching an interview with, what's his name? Cam Patterson?
Yes.
Younger black dude.
Yeah.
He's on SNL now, but he started out, right? Like, he was down in Austin. And he was like, dude, I was a doorman at the mothership. And then he ended up getting on Kill Tony. He was a comedian.
Yeah.
But they were asking him, and he was like, yeah, it was weird because I'd still work my shift. And, like, you got to clear, bust a table or whatever as a doorman. And people are like, aren't you Cam? And he's like, well, yeah. But, like, he's like, right. He was basically like, I started here initially to have this job. The goal was to become a famous comedian. But he was like, yeah, I had to keep the job. It just, the nights we were taping, I would be the comedian. But he's like, other nights, like, I need the job.
Right. It's understood, man.
Yeah. A lot going on there. And yeah, right? Like, what was I going to say? There was that other guy, I forget his name. He was on the Cosby Show way back in the day.
He was working at trade. He was the husband of Lisa Bonet's character.
Right. And people were like, what are you doing?
No, the older sister.
What are you doing working at Trader Joe's? And he's like, I haven't had work in a while.
Like putting food on my table.
Yeah. Good for him, though. I think now people started actively giving him roles again.
Yeah.
So I think he's, acting again. And also, like, look, jobs are jobs. You know what I mean? Like, there's something, I don't think we should shame people for, working, checking out or delivering Amazon packages or working at fast food.
If you're acting career, what would you do? To start?
And by the way, people are always happy at Trader Joe's. I've never walked in there and seen, like, people being mean or anything. Everyone's like, whoa, look at this.
Because all the food's good.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, they do a good job. I don't know why, but their checkers always seem very nice and friendly, too.
Nosy.
I like it.
Always asking me about my weekend.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I like to talk to people in line anyhow. So the fact that...
Gonna dive into this bag of chips. That's my weekend, man. Get off my back. Damn.
I'm glad you brought that up. I do plan on making homemade gyros. All right, let's see. USA is playing tonight. I feel like there's some other country playing that...
I'm sure there is.
That people would care about.
So USA does play tonight?
No. They're not.
Oh, okay.
Is it South Africa and South Korea? No, it's probably Mexico.
I believe it is.
It is. I'm just making a joke. I was talking to somebody yesterday. They were like, you think they'll show the Mexico game? And I was like, yes.
Yes.
Like outside of the United States, they're like, I mean, I would say Mexico's the biggest. Hell, there's sometimes you go to a game in California, Mexico, U.S., there's more Mexican fans than there is U.S. fans.
Easily.
So, like, yeah, massive match. And, have fun to all my Mexican brothers and sisters.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. You're listening to The Men's Room.
Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. An 84-year-old Florida woman fires a gun because neighbors were cutting their grass. Meanwhile, a car made out of Legos is one that you might not be able to pass. 12-year-old fakes kidnapping to extort money from mom and dad. A rescued dog in Florida is not what they thought they had. And today's rescued animal, actually animals, 24 dogs locked inside of a hot car. And it's Florida again. And time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my cop.
All right, our top story. We're going to Florida, where the folks, they just want to sleep. A man tells police that he was going about his business, mowing his lawn, albeit later on in the evening at around 8:15 p.m. While cutting his grass, he suddenly heard a loud bang, and he wheeled around to see his 84-year-old neighbor standing in the yard, holding a Smith & Wesson .38 special, having fired a shot into the ground. When he asked the obvious question of, "What are you doing?" she answered with a menacing, "I'm trying to tell you you're waking us up," before adding, "You better watch out." Police were called and the neighbor was arrested. She told officers that she merely intended to scare the neighbors due to an ongoing noise issue with them and her trying to sleep.
Well, it worked.
Well, look, if you live in Florida, you know a couple things to be true. It's kind of like being in Hawaii. If you're going to walk your dog, you do it almost at the point where the sun comes up because it's too hot.
Yeah.
You also walk them later in the evening because it's too hot. You do all your yard work really early or really late, just because it's so hot. So that is a normal time to do that.
Right. Yeah, 8 o'clock at night, there's still sunlight outside.
Yeah. It's cooler.
Right. Goodness gracious. In other news, we stay in Florida for a story that'll make you consider murder. Local officers recently had body cam footage shared over the internet that features them busting a vehicle in a parking lot containing 24 dogs locked inside of a car inside of the hot sun.
Come on, man. Come on.
The conditions were deemed dangerous to the health and safety of the animals because it's hot outside.
Yeah.
And they were freed. 2 people were arrested during the investigation and faced criminal animal cruelty charges. The dogs were taken to a care facility.
Why do they have 24 dogs in one car?
Thank you, Miles.
Yeah, more than anything else, right.
Is this a breeding situation? Is this we're selling them as puppy situation?
Absolutely. Something like that.
Right.
You just don't randomly have 24 animals.
Right.
Unless it's a business.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Because who can afford to feed 24 dogs?
Goodness
And
gracious.
why would you leave them in a hot car?
Where was it?
Florida.
Yeah, like you don't have a sled team. I can't fathom why you'd have that many
I
dogs.
like how you're trying to make sense of it. Well, maybe they got the Floridian Iditarod team.
But even then, 24 is a lot of friggin' dogs.
It is.
It's not even a litter. That's several, dude.
Yeah, it's more than one litter. And then it's Florida. It's already hot. There's no one who does not know the dangers of leaving a dog in a hot car.
Yeah.
But when they say that, they also mean like in multiples. Well, we got 24, not one. Like, come on, man.
I mean, that's just insanity.
It is.
It had to be a scent, too.
That car could not smell good.
Yeah. Let's go to where our coworker Bree's from. Let's go to Brazil for an intense story. Sorry, that's Mexico. A 12-year-old girl was reported missing at 1 a.m. after she had disappeared from her home and started sending text messages to her parents that she'd been kidnapped, saying that she'd received death threats and had been brutalized. The parents contacted police and an investigation began. At 11 a.m. the next day, she started texting her parents again, informing them that the kidnappers were demanding a sum of money as ransom. Luckily, as the details were being arranged, police happened to locate the young girl on the outskirts of town. But upon entering the facility that she was being held in, they were stunned to discover there's nobody holding her hostage. She's all by herself. There were no kidnappers. She had fabricated the entire story in order to extort money out of her parents. She was arrested, though she may not suffer legal consequences due to her age.
12.
She's 12 years old. And she knows how to extort
Where did
people.
she learn this?
No kidding.
I mean, golly.
Indian everywhere these days.
Right.
Man.
She could make it believable to the point to where it took them a minute to investigate this, and then they were getting preparations to get that money to her.
Wow, man.
She's crazy smart, and she's just crazy.
She had a way to had money wired or dropped off or something. I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Just didn't know how to hide.
Man.
And where's the rest of this plan? All of a sudden you're okay, and oh, by the way, I got, 12 grand? However much it was that she was going to try to extort him for?
To be fair, she's 12.
Yeah.
So the most complicated part
you're right.
she actually kind of achieved. Probably didn't think it all the way through.
The most complicated part of any plan when you're that age is the rest of it.
Yes.
Yeah. The follow through.
Right.
The
Not
cleanup.
telling other kids.
No kidding. Dude, I totally just told my parents I got kidnapped. Right. Jeez. How much they hold your ransom for? $5. I got a candy bar.
Right. That's what tipped them off. They want a new Xbox and Madden 27.
They want Roblox points. Fortnite V-Bucks.
That's probably
Gift
probably
cards.
right.
Yeah.
And a Spotify premium account. We go to England where a record has been broken. Several spectators arrived at the Goodwood Hill Climb Circuit of the Festival of Speed, Goodwood, where they witnessed a test driver break a record by taking his vessel up to the blinding speed of 69 miles an hour.
Nice.
Which is the fastest ever achieved by a car made entirely of Legos.
That is impressive. I will give them that.
It took 328,000 Technic elements and 9,400 hours to put it together, and it was all to celebrate the new set featuring a Swedish sports car edition of the Legos.
Damn.
Have you seen the Lego World Cup trophies?
No.
Yeah, you could build it. It looks like it, but it's Legos.
All right.
My buddy has one, and I looked at him. I said, "Which one of your kids built this?"
Was he like, I did?
I would like to see them just test that crash car, just like against the wall.
Oh, yeah. I know, Miles. I'm with you.
You know, like wow.
Just run this damn thing.
So not this year, but last year, I want to say at the Miami Grand Prix for F1, they built Lego cars for the drivers to like drive around in, and I'm pretty sure a couple of them bumped into each other and knocked some of the Legos off.
Just looks intense. I tell you. But just in case those stories have a bad taste in your mouth.
Thankfully, there's good news.
We go down to Florida for today's rescue operation. Local authorities got word of an animal in distress as a dog had gotten itself stranded in a canal. They arrived on the scene and were pointed toward the animal thanks to a couple of witnesses. Upon extracting the dog from the canal, they made the discovery it was actually a coyote pup that they had saved.
Oh. It's amazing they didn't get bit.
No kidding, dude. Due to its exhausted condition, they took the animal to a veterinary clinic for rehabilitation before it'll be released back into the wild. The witnesses also received like, little medals or something like that for their help.
All right.
Which I gotta like. Hey, you know what? I did a good thing.
You thought it was a dog, but yeah.
It's a dog down there.
Kind of is.
See, this is K9. Men's Room Sports, the NBA draft continues over on ESPN. More World Cup coverage over on Fox and FS1. And there's baseball over on MLB Network. With the Mariners, playing Game 2 against Pirates over on Mariners TV. And they are there. Yeah. They are in PNC Park. As far as your weather, we've got partly cloudy skies and a low of 57 tonight. It's going to cool down considerably, gang, as we've got cloudy skies and a high of 68 degrees tomorrow. That's it for headlines. With that, Mike Hawk is out.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Big dummy next time. The head chef is back with Ted's Meat and Potatoes. Lovely Jolene is up in just seconds.
Yes, indeed. It's all true. But in the meantime, well, we be all about this biatch. So until tomorrow, please, do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.